What's good, everyone? What's good, everyone? I want to just talk about something real quick. I want to speak on this. I want to just talk about this thing real quick because this is like I see why a lot of like younger when I talk about younger generation, I'm not talking about Gen Z. I'm talking about like kids that are like teenagers. They just got into high school because that's like Gen Alpha. Like I can see why the younger kids don't respect adults because when you look at when I talk about adults, I'm for this video, I'm mainly speaking about age 30 to 45. I'm gonna leave the boomers out of this one because um, I just want to leave it out of this because if you really look at the average adult, middle age, like regular age adult, we're not talking about old fucks. We're talking about like regular age adults. When you really look at them, I can see why the kids, the younger generation, don't respect them. Like you'll have these niggas in the hood that you saw the so-called OGs. They'll be talking about um the younger generation. They don't want anybody to tell them anything. Why the fuck is my lips? So I think I just washed my face and then it's hella like ashy and shit. But it's like the younger generation, right? They'll be talking about the younger generation and how they don't have no respect or how like they just do whatever the fuck they want to do and they don't give a fuck. And when you look at it, it's like I don't blame them really because when you look at the average adult and how they act like I can see how the younger generation can look at the average adult as their peer. You see what I'm saying? I can see how the average person who's young can look at the average adult as their peer because most of the people they have no respect for them. Most people that are like older, like mid, like age 30 to 45. I'm not going to speak on the boomer generation because those are like the old people. I'm going to leave them out because they already brainwashed, they retarded, and I'm not going to hate on them 100% because they got some good qualities about them too. But at the same time, it's like when you look at the people who are like the middle-aged people or like the regular adult, they're really like they have no responsibility, like self-accountability. I don't know what the fuck it is, but on my algorithm, I'm seeing a lot of bullshit. Like I'm realizing like a lot of people on YouTube, they're not posting as much as they used to anymore. Like if you look at like the social media, YouTube watch hours, all of that is taking a hit right now because we're in a new shift. So what I'm seeing right now is like a lot of bullshit that's being promoted and anything that's like real and like creative, it's not that it's being blocked, even though it is a lot of people really aren't promoting it as much anymore because a lot of people are realizing social media is full of shit. So it's better to do that in real life. And once you do it in real life, then you can bring it online. And I feel like a lot of people are realizing that. So now it seems like nobody's posting, and the only people who are people who are posting for an ulterior motive, like for money, or and the only way you're making money on this platform 99% of the time is if you're promoting bullshit. So you see a lot of more content that's bullshit AI, people talking about people commentating on AI videos, like crap like that, um, shit about how miserable and depressed they are. It's like if you're like you'll see videos people saying, I'm not interested in anything. Everything's boring. And it's like, no, not everything isn't boring. And you are interested. You're interested in you not being miserable. You're interested in you having money to, like, because think about it. If you say everything's not interested, that means you struggling and you being in fear of being broke. That's your interest. So when you have fear that you're going to get kicked out and evicted and go broke because you can't afford a box of Cheerios, you're interested in that. Dumb fuck. So your interest is that you're just interested in bullshit. You're interested in struggle because you have to be interested in something. If you truly weren't, just fucking kill yourself. Like, nobody gives a fuck about you. You're not bringing shit to this fucking world at the end of the fucking day for most people. But they'll say, oh, everything's boring. Everything's not interesting. Like, no, what's going on is your interests have changed, because what you want to be interested in, you can't be interested in anymore because your brain isn't working in that capacity because you failed to do the inner work. So you're trying to find happiness in external things like a fucking idiot, and that doesn't work no more. So now you're forced to be interested in struggling. So now, like, because if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't go to your 9 to 5. You'll just say, I don't care if I'm homeless. You wouldn't be interested in trying to get money to go eat. You just say, I'll just not eat, or I'll be a breatharian, or just eat less. But no, since you're not doing that, you're interested in not feeling those hunger pains. You're interested in, so you are interested in something, you fucking idiot. All these people, I'm not interested in this. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, this is one, I seen something, what was it? This guy, he said something that was, the dude, he it was this video I seen on my algorithm, right? And it was actually somebody speaking some real shit, but he had very, very little views. He said something. He said you should try to, and I understand, like everyone has their own situation when it comes to family and shit. Like, if you got family that's really fucked up and they did you fucked up, then I could understand like having to distance yourself. But then there's like a lot of people who are like, they just will distance themselves from people that they're cool with, because that's your community. Like, the people you know in your real life, that's who you want to build a community with. If you want to talk about building a community or starting something, or like if you have some type of business, you'll want to try to get the people in your circle around you. And if you have good dealings with your family, you want to get that situated and have them help you. You don't want to just be like, I'm cutting everyone off unless it's necessary. Like, you grew up in an abusive, really fucked up, I understand, then okay, then so be it. But most people, that isn't the case. Most people, they just are dealing with mental illness. Their family members dealing with mental illness. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. So therefore, it creates all these problems and unnecessary things. People said the wrong thing. So you're like, well, I'm cutting everyone off. And then the dude on the video, he's like, it's good to try to make amends and try to, because if you have something you're building, the people that you want to have around you are people you know in real life. When you say that you're going to cut everyone off, then it's like, at that point, you're kind of like, it doesn't make any sense. Because in order to really get anything done, you need help to get anything done. And this is why, like, a lot of people, they're struggling. They don't know what the fuck is going on, because they're like, and I'm not saying you can't do things alone, but like me, I can do certain things alone more so than anyone, because I'm more intelligent than 99% of people, including you. If you're watching and not everyone watches my page, but if you resonate with my page. But the average person, when I see out here, they're like suffering and they're miserable. And then they're like, oh, I cut everyone off. And it's like, nigga, at the end of the day, you probably need people. Like, if you have to work at, like me, I've never worked a 9 to 5 in my life for more than like 2 months. So I'm in a better situation in order to get it from the mud and be able to do it myself. A lot of you niggas, you are dependent on work or dependent on the government. You dependent on these things. And I'm not saying, because we're all dependent. If you eat, you're dependent. So I eat, I consume food. So obviously I'm dependent. But even with that shit, I eat very, very little. So I'm in more of a situation to be like, okay, I'm going to just wing it and do my own shit. And even then, there's certain things in my life I will at least get my family to do, because I don't trust this internet shit. I don't trust anyone like that unless it's about some business or something. And if I'm going to trust anyone, it'll be people I know in real life, whether even if it's like friends I knew back in the day, which I don't have any of them because I don't give a fuck. That is like a whole nother story. But like If it's somebody I know or a cousin or something, it's good to put them on and have the and build a community with that. This whole internet shit is all bullshit. You can't really trust anybody on this internet shit. And I'm not saying there aren't cool people you met. Like there's people I met that are cool on here, but at the same time, it's like I'm not focused 100% on, oh, we got to meet up. We got it. I'm not, because this whole internet shit is not what it seems. And like a lot of people are realizing that. That's why a lot of people aren't posting no more. You see nothing but bullshit content. Shout out to my nigga. What's his name? What's my nigga's name? Jay Vass. He left the community post and he said, there's nothing but bullshit on social media. And he's like, and I was like, the reason for that is because they pay people and they promote people with who promote bullshit. So you have to talk and act a certain way for you to get paid. And if you talk about anything that's actually gonna benefit and help somebody, they're gonna shadow ban you for the most part. So that's why there's a lot of bullshit on here. So everything is fake because everyone, like you see all these videos talking about, oh, I'm the black sheep of the family and I'm different and I'm so different and I'm this and that. But then when you actually look at these fucking videos, it's like, bitch, you get like 10,000, 20,000 views and every fucking video damn near on YouTube is saying the same shit, that they're a chosen one. Like, bitch, you're not different. You're the same as everybody else. This is the new age bot. This is the new age NPC. The new age NPC is somebody who always talks about NPCs, always talks about bots. And I'm talking about it in this video for just the purpose to inform you guys what the fuck's going on. But these people, everything they talk about is NPC bots, how I cut off my family, how this is that. And it's like, nigga, just shut the fuck up and just kill yourself already. Like, just end your shit. Like, no one gives a fuck at the end of the day. Like, this shit is like, it's getting hella old and annoying. And then they wonder why the younger generation doesn't respect the older generation. Because the average kid who's Gen Alpha, which is like 13, 14, 12, 11, when they look at the average adult and they go on the internet and they see a bunch of grown ass people from 30 to 45 talking about how the society has failed us. There's nothing. Shut the fuck up. All you talking about is the negative. We get it. Society's fucked up, but I never hear anything solution based oriented. And then when they see the younger generation, they get confused why the younger generation doesn't give a fuck about what anything an old head has to say. Because the younger generation looks at age 30 to 45 and even older as their peers. So somebody who's 13, it's easy for them to look at a 38-year-old as their peer compared to 20 years ago when you were 13, you didn't look at a 38-year-old as your peer. Even if you didn't like the motherfucker, you're like, okay, that's an adult. But nowadays, it's like 38. The age gap has blurred because you got motherfuckers that are like supposed to be old, but they don't got no knowledge, they don't got no wisdom. Not that you got to speak truth, but just the way you act and come across. So the younger generation can just see how you're moving and be like, okay, this makes sense. So now they'll say, oh, why are all these niggas in the hood, these YNs acting crazy? They don't want to listen because like they don't have nobody to listen to. Who can they listen to? Most, I'm not saying everybody, but like I would say like 90 to 95% of the elders or people that are older that aren't Gen Alpha are retarded. They're stupid. And Gen Z, they getting older. In about like 5 years, Gen Z is gonna be like 30 or 27. Like they're gonna be entering that old age. So they don't got no experience because all their whole existence for the past, especially the past 5 years since the pandemic, has been nothing but the internet and social media. Because everything they told you, everything that you thought you were supposed to do, people are starting to realize I did all that, but I didn't have no experience. So people are like, oh, I'm not dating no more because women are like this. But then at the same time, you never dated a female. So you never even had the experience. You could have had, so everyone's just assuming, oh, this person has negative energy. Oh, I can't be over there because this, or I'm not doing this because that. But it's all shit you've seen on the internet. It's not nothing that's real substance. So like nobody live life. So ain't nobody really intelligent or nobody is on shit really. And everyone's just complaining because like nobody wants to do the work. Like really, that's all really what it is. So I don't blame the young generation for like not giving a fuck about the old generation. I don't blame them no more. Like I can see why. I wouldn't even respect. I don't even respect motherfuckers that are like the average person. Really, I don't respect them because like when you look at them, like they're just retarded. They don't have no. There's no solution base. It's like, let me give you guys an example. It's like imagine a kid that when he was growing up and he went to school, he was sick. And when he got sick, he was happy he was sick because he didn't have to go to school. You know, when you're young, you're sick, you don't have to go to school. But now that you're older and you get sick, you get more stressed out because, oh, I won't be able to go to work to make money. That's what most people will say who work in the work field. I'm sick, so I'm gonna lose hours. You see what I'm saying? So that's how this is how take that analogy and put it towards how people act towards like thinking that like they'll complain about society fucked up. The reason people are complaining society's fucked up because they think it's a coping way to not make them feel bad for the decisions they made in their life. So a lot of people that are like in their 30s and 40s, they failed at life. They didn't make certain decisions and it didn't have nothing to do with the government. Certain things do have to do with the government. We get it, inflation, we get it. And I've already made videos and I always get on their ass. Okay, I get it. But there's certain things people do in their own personal life that have nothing to do with the government that they didn't do, which is the reason why they're in this situation complaining about certain shit, even the government does. We got to get that shit clear. So they will complain and watch videos about coping, about the matrix is being destroyed, the economy's going to collapse, the government's going to be destroyed. Like, first of all, if the government's going to be destroyed, 98% of the population is going to be destroyed with it because 98% of the population don't know shit but what the government does. So you have to work at Walmart to get your paycheck. You need to go to get welfare. You need to do all of these things. So if you're not like spiritually inclined and I'm trying to build yourself, you're going to collapse with the government, idiot. The only people who are going to survive if the government fully collapses will be like the native tribes and people who know how to live off the land, which is like a small percentage. But the 80, probably like 90 to 95% of people talking about, oh, the government's going to, bitch, you're going to collapse with it, motherfucker. Like, where do you go to eat? You go get your money. You don't know how to grow the land. You don't know how to, you don't know the esoteric energies of the land that correlate to like how to grow food and how to survive and how to take certain herbs to live and how to get out of your mental illness. If that wasn't the case, people wouldn't be sick and have mental illness. So nobody knows shit. If you're sick, you got to go to the doctor. And I'm not saying never go to the doctor. There's situations where you need to go, but most people, they go when they don't need to go, which is like 90% of people. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, even when even like other shit, you will like, if I say certain things, people be like, where did you get that from? Who are you to know that? So because I'm not a government. So people depend on the government. Even motherfuckers who say, "Oh, I'm not into the government. Fuck the government." Like this is why religion is so fake now. Is because religion doesn't even exist. Everybody just takes what they want from this fake ass religion, and they make it into their own. So they'll say, "Fuck the government. The Bible is bullshit." But Jesus was black. No, Jesus was white, you fucking idiot, because a white or whoever invented Jesus, whether it be white, Arab, I don't know what the fuck it was. Whatever that human being was, let's just say it was a white person who made the Bible. If the white person made the Bible and Christianity and Catholicism and they use that religion to kill people in different lands and put that bullshit into their minds, then Jesus is white, you fucking idiot. Why are you going to say, it's like if I go and create a painting and I draw a picture of a bitch with a fat ass. How are you going to tell me that bitch with a fat ass is white if I drew her and she looked black? That's my picture, motherfucker. That's the first picture you've seen of a bitch with a fat ass that I drew. It came from me. You're going to tell me, oh, that female wasn't black. It was really white. No, motherfucker. It's black because I made it. If you want to make your own copy and make the bitch white, then go ahead and make the bitch white. But you can't say mine is supposed to be, it's really a white woman and have a debate. That doesn't make sense. But yet people want to take so everyone, they just use religion to cope. Keep your eye open. When you look at everybody that believes in religion And that's very into like those people that talk about Jesus is king and believe in Jesus and God. Look very closely at these people. 99% of these people, a high percentage of them, at least everyone that I've seen in my life so far, they're very mentally ill and they're struggling. Remember that saying, if you're scared, go to church? That is taking a lot more like precedence nowadays. A lot of people, anybody who's into religion and Jesus Christ, they're scared because of what's going on in their life. So they don't know where to turn. So anybody who believes in religion and Christianity in this new paradigm we're in, this new shift, these are people that are very mentally ill. They're very scared and they don't know what to do. So they're going to pray to Jesus to cope instead of actually doing the work. Because anytime when you tell them the work that they need, because everybody knows what they need to do. But the thing is, the things that you need to do, most of the time, it's stuff that you don't want to do. That's the test. The test is to do something that you don't want to do that you're supposed to do. So most people, when you tell them what they need to do, they'll try to figure out a cope. Oh, I'm going to believe in Jesus. I'm going to believe in this. Or they'll make cope and say, I'm going to watch videos about the economy collapsing. Or like, bitch, if the economy collapsed and you work at Walmart, bitch, your ass is fucked. So like, I don't understand. Like, and even if the economy were to collapse, it's gonna be because the government. Like I told you guys before, the only way the economy is gonna collapse is if people stop working and people say fuck the system and stop paying taxes. And you see how that's working. People are, if not more, into the system. Don't you see all these people trying to go viral to get what? Money? Dumbass. So obviously people want to work. People fighting for little scrap ass, shitty ass jobs, working at the fucking Taco Bell, like just to get a job working at. So you got to go to 3 interviews and then they'll sit there and debo you and talk shit and disrespect you and be like, well, you're replaceable. Everybody wants to work. So obviously that shit is, people still want to work. So the economy's going to collapse because people are not working, or the government deliberately crashes it, which is what they probably are going to do whenever they feel like doing it based upon where they're trying to take society. So maybe like they had the pandemic. They put the pandemic at that time based upon whatever they wanted to do. I don't know their agenda. I'm not in the government. I'm not part of it, so I don't know. But they made the pandemic at that time based upon where they wanted to take society and what they wanted to do with it at that time. It wasn't because some God or no spirituality or some type of like spiritual reason, like these stupid fucking gorilla coon ass nigger Infinite Waters talking about 2020 shift. It's the Saturn conjunction. Shut the fuck up, nigga. The reason the pandemic fucking happened, because remember when 2020 happened and all these spiritual people were saying, remember I told you something was going to happen in 2020 because the Saturn conjunct Jupiter, and that placement means governments are going to come. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. That's not the reason why it happened. The reason why it happened, stupid ass nigga fucking mowing the fucking grass. The reason why this shit happened was because somebody, whoever's in control of the narratives of this synthetic fake ass system, they decided to make the thing, the whatever the fuck it was. The same with the economy, if the pandemic, but the same with the economy. If they want to make the economy crash, they're gonna make the economy crash. Unless people stop working and going to work, then that's a real economy crash. But if all this stupid shit, oh, Bitcoin went down and this good, but yet you still go outside and people are still trying to fucking work and find a job to make money. Like, you got people out here that want to work, want to find ways to make money. So I don't see how the economy can be bad other than there's just somebody out there that's playing games trying to crash the shit and do certain shit. Like, if you think about it, and I'm not saying there can't be dips and problems with the economy. I'm not saying that, but if you really look at it, a lot of that shit is fake, and it's all fake. It's not real. Shout out to everyone in the room. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Shout out to Jay Vass. He's like Gen Z said that a lot of that shit is bullshit. a lot of those polls, you got to realize like a lot of it's bullshit. They say they say Gen Z says it's not worth working anymore. That's what they say, but are they working? I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker says. What are they doing? Last time I checked, most Gen Z are doing, most people in life, fuck just Gen Z, most people in life are doing things that they don't want to do because they have to. Oh, I have to do this. So if you feel like you have to do this, if you feel like you have to do something, nigga, then shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you think is not worth working or worth doing, bitch. As long as your ass gets to the plantation and does what the fuck you doing, that's all that really matters, and that's all really what speaks volumes. Everything else is just you fucking just running your fucking mouth. No one gives a fuck, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not talking to you, Shinada, but it's not worth working anymore. But yet you go to every fucking establishment, it's a Gen Z working with a fucking bitch face. Why are you here, nigga? Fucking leave. Oh, I have to be here. Then shut the fuck up and be happy, because if you weren't here, you'll be homeless and you'll be even more sad. Like, how you get, oh man, I have to be here, I have to work here. But it's like, okay, then quit. Well, if I quit, I'll be homeless. Then be happy, bitch, because you'll be homeless if you weren't here. And if you were homeless, you'll be even more fucked up, So I don't get it. Like, and if that's a problem, if that is an issue, working here or being homeless, then why don't people create their own shit? Other than that, just shut the fuck up. It's just annoying hearing this complaining, and then people have the audacity to go, "Oh, you're complaining." But I'm not complaining. If anything, I'm complaining about people fucking complaining, and even then, I'm not even complaining. I wouldn't even say that's complaining. I'm just speaking my fucking mind on what I like. If you don't like what I gotta say, you get the fuck out. For real. Last time I checked, this is fucking YouTube, nigga. Nobody said YouTube was supposed to teach people. Nobody said YouTube was supposed to entertain people. YouTube's a platform where you upload onto the platform your content, and your content needs to not be against the policies. What do they call it? The guidelines, the community guidelines. Any content that goes against the community guidelines, they will remove it. So if my content does not go against the community guidelines, which if it did, it would get removed and you wouldn't see it, and my channel would be banned, then I'm not doing what YouTube's supposed to. But if my content goes, it's not against the guidelines, then there's nothing wrong with my content. If you have an issue, or you're not teaching, or you're not speaking a certain way, or you're supposed to be talking about Kundalini spiritual, or you're supposed to not be talking about that, or you're complaining, like, shut the fuck up and get the fuck off my fucking page, bitch. If you don't like what the fuck I'm saying, get the fuck off. I don't like what a lot of people say. I don't sit there and say shit on their page. I just go and make my own page and I speak my shit against them and fuck them. And if you don't like that, you can kiss my ass. He's like, I side-eye older folks when they're still working at Walmart, any job. I don't want to be like them. And it's fucked up. Like when I see that, it's like there should be no old people working at Walmart. Like I don't even hate on them too much, because I look at it like this system is fucked up to have people that old. If you that old, especially if you like decrepit and you old, there should be programs and systems where you're housed, you have food, you have everything the fuck you need, and it's decent. It's not some squalor ass fucking shit that you'll get in Mumbai or somewhere. It's some decent shit, and you're able to live peacefully and die out. Like that shouldn't even be a fucking thing. You shouldn't be that old having to work at fucking Winco. It doesn't make no sense. That's just stupid. But the thing is, though, you really, it's hard. Like a lot of you may be saying it's fucked up. Like a lot of people say, you're lazy. You could go get a job and start working, and they'll probably call you lazy, right? But you got to think about it like this. I was at the grocery store a few weeks ago, and there was this guy. He was deaf, and another dude I seen. He was in a wheelchair. I remember there was a dude in a wheelchair. This was like a couple years ago, and I was at Target. I was stealing some shit, right? He seen me stealing, the dude in the wheelchair. I felt hella bad, because he's like, "Hey, stop right there!" And I kept on walking, and he was chasing me with his wheelchair. I just ran, but it was at Target. I was the only time I felt bad of like stealing, because he was all telling me to stop, and he was in his wheelchair. Like he was really trying to go after me, but I outran his wheelchair and shit. But not to go into that story, but the thing is, though, fucking you see people in wheelchairs, right? You'll see people who are deaf. Like this guy, I asked him what eye was the whatever was on, and he was like, Like he couldn't talk. He was deaf. And when I seen it, I was like, it's people. I'm not hating on the dude. I'm not mad at the dude or angry, but it's individuals like that why you'll see a lot of ignorant pieces of shit in this world call like the average person lazy who maybe isn't working because like, well, if a deaf person can work, if a person in a wheelchair, you can work. And that's why I say this is why I say you don't explain yourself anymore. It's not about explaining yourself. In this new time, you got to do what's right for you. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work. Like, I don't know if you should work. Like, anybody telling you to go work is an idiot. Anybody telling you to not work, they're misinformed because they don't know your situation. Some people don't need to be fucking working. Some people, you working, you see a lot of these people getting laid off. They'll tell you, oh, this company got laid off. They just fired 3,000 people from Tyson. But what they don't tell you the spiritual aspect. Out of those 3,000 people, there's a majority of those people, their spirit wanted them to not work there no more because they're not doing shit what they like. So it manifested as them getting laid off, and that's a spiritual lesson. But they're not going to tell you that. They're going to just tell you, oh, the surface stuff. And I'm not saying it's good to get people like us. Oh, I'm not saying that because I'm not going to wish people not to have money to pay for shit. I'm not going to wish that. But I'm just telling you, got to look at it from like a more perspective. So this is why I don't tell anybody. I would never tell you guys to work or to do whatever the fuck you feel like you need to do. I only tell you what I do, and that's it. I can care less what somebody else does. It's none of my business. Anybody telling you to do something, you need to be suspicious of them. Like, why do you care? Because if you really got shit going on in your life, you wouldn't care what somebody else is doing unless what they're doing is going to affect your money or which your situation you got going on. If that isn't the case, who gives a fuck what the fuck they're doing? I don't care what a motherfucker does. It doesn't affect me. They want you to think it affects you. And then you have all these, this is why you have a lot of people giving their asshole opinions. No one cares about your asshole opinion about what this individual did. You seen the shit with Diddy. Like, people were on that nigga's nuts for like half the year. Like, everything about fucking Diddy. And then you see how they only gave this nigga a few months in jail or a few years. He didn't even get that as much. Everyone thought this nigga was going to go to jail for life. And then after they came out, well, he was only in jail for like a few years. Everybody just stopped talking about it because like people are retarded. It's like, you don't have nothing going on in your life. Like, and then you have all these people virtue signaling coming up on here. It's not right. Like, bitch, we don't need another grown-ass man in their 40s telling another grown-ass man or a bunch of people on the internet it's not right to abuse women. Like, that's common sense. The fact that you even have to talk, even have to say that, you're an idiot. And then secondly, how the fuck do you even know he abused women? Last time I checked, nigga, you're not at any of these Hollywood parties. You don't know anybody in Hollywood, bitch. The only thing you know is what they tell you on TMZ and on the news. I don't know shit about the government. I don't know shit about any celebrity. Everything I talk about or about a celebrity or government, I get from the news, which is their platform, and I make my assumptions what I think. I don't know anybody in government. I'm not a Mason. I'm not connected. So I don't get it when you see all these news briefings and this shit on the, like, these court hearings. Like, you don't even know what the fuck is going on. For all we know, it could be a fake court. It could be a whole fake stage that, like, people are just so retarded. Like, they're lost. They forget, like, this shit is all a reality show. Like, the news, social media, it's bullshit. It's not important because you got to look at life in reality. They talk about there's so much information overload. There's no information, or there's stupid information. What? Because when people talk about information, they talk about intelligent. No, information is like me fucking taking a shit on the ground and smeared it on a clown's face. That's information, but you can't do nothing with it. So the internet, it has a lot of information, but 99% of it is bullshit. And how you fact check what I'm saying is go outside and look at reality. You see, the average man, woman, and child is a fucking degenerate, dunce cap moron. And that's just me being nice. And I don't say this as disrespect. I say it as this is a fact. Most people aren't functioning within their human mental capacity. because of a lot of shit, like the food, the chemicals, social media. So that's a fact. So if social media and internet had all this information, why are people dumber than they were before? Everyone is dumber. And then people think intelligent shit is common sense. Like, we're at a time right now where people think some spiritualists talking about how you're a chosen one, or how the government is trying to control people so they don't want people to grow. Like, shut the fuck. That's not even like, that's not even the reason. Like, somebody says something about they're shadow banning you because your knowledge. We're not at that time no more. It's not even really that. I'm not saying people don't get shadow banned because of knowledge, but most people aren't shadow banned because of knowledge. You're shadow banned now because you hurt somebody's feelings, and they're trying to put a certain narrative. They want society to look a certain way, and if certain people talk a certain way, it makes what they're trying to accomplish not look so sweet. It makes it look kind of shaky, and it's gonna fuck with their money because everything's about capitalism. So they need people paying taxes. They need people being invested in the system mentally. They need people depressed and have anxiety so they can watch certain content and believe certain narratives. Because in order to believe the shit that the news says, in order to believe Trump and Venezuela actually means something important, you have to be mentally ill. But if people get out of that certain mental block, then their shit doesn't work. And the news is the only thing they fucking got left. But people don't understand that shit. Like, you got to understand what, like, this is why there's shadow banning at this point. Is not, I'm not saying people don't get shadow banned because of knowledge. I'm not saying that, but it's more so because you hurt people's feelings. Because believe it or not, the people who run these apps, they have feelings because they're human. So they get triggered, they get upset. What do you think? You hear the word doom scrolling, triggered, rage bait. These are words that they come up with and they put in the algorithm. So it's self-projection. You heard where did you hear the word rage bait first? You heard it from social media. That means these are certain keywords that they put out there and flood, like meme posts or meme pictures. They put them out there. So when you hear a lot of doom scrolling, rage bait, trigger, this shows you the people who created social media, the people who run YouTube, the people who run Google, the people who run Twitter and Instagram. These people get the maximum rage bait, get the maximum trigger, get the maximum fucking, what's the other one I said? They get the maximum of that shit. I said triggered, rage bait, and doom scroll. They doom scroll the most. How? I told you guys, doom scrolling is synonymous with shadow ban. How would you shadow? Why would you shadow ban something? Because you don't like what they're saying. How the fuck did you find my channel? If you don't like what I'm saying, how the fuck isn't the algorithm push out only shit you like? So if you don't like my content, how the fuck did you find me? And if you did find me, why don't you block, remove me, and don't watch me again? So that's doom scrolling. Your doom scrolling isn't just the social, it's you're watching something you don't like. People think doom scrolling you just going up the feed. That's one type. Going on YouTube and watching something you don't like and shadow banning it, which the government does. They invented doom scrolling. They're the ones who invented it. That shit really wasn't a thing back then. I can tell we're in a new shit because, and when I say new shit, I'm not talking about 20. I'm talking about over 5 years, like 5-6 years ago. 5-6 years ago, like 2017, 16. You were I want to go back recent. I don't want to go back too far because a lot of niggas say, "Oh, back in the 90s, back in the 80s." Okay, we get it, but I like to go a little bit recent so I can tell you guys how this shit is changing people's mind. Back in 2015, 2016, you were looked at as a lame, low key. Not 100%, but you were low key looked at as a lame. I remember when I started fucking making videos in 2013. You were looked at as a lame if you made YouTube videos. Like, niggas were like, nobody used to talk about them making YouTube videos like that. It wasn't really that big. And if you had a small channel back, unless you were making money and you were viral, then you'll probably say, but if you're like a small content creator back in 2014, 13, people looked at you like you're a weird ass nigga. Like, you making videos. People didn't even want to tell people they were making videos. Like, no one really did it. Like, it was like people did it, but the people who did it, it was like kind of secretive. And you only told people that watched your video on YouTube. Now it's like everyone's trying to go viral and shit. And even then, we're leaving this stage right now. That shit's dying out. You guys can see it and you can feel it. That whole social media is this dying out. And the people who run these platforms, they're kind of confused right now because they thought, and I'm kind of like, I thought this social media shit was gonna be like permanent and last for a long time. But you see how this shit is dying out. Like, if you can't see it, just wait. The vibe, because we in a shift right now. So when they talk about the collapse, when they talk about social media is dying, this has nothing to do with the internet and nobody's creative. Nobody has nothing to say. That's not what it is. No, most people were never saying shit to begin with. It's just we're at a shift right now because when we go through a different shift, it's a mental, the collective mind is forced to pay attention mentally because we're awareness. That's what we are. We're awareness. So everybody has to be aware of something. You can't be not aware, otherwise you'll not be conscious. Even when you're dead, you're still aware because you're gonna be in a different your mind. When you go to sleep, you dream, right? So look at death as the father of, look at dreaming as the father of death, and sleep as the son. When you go to, you're awake, right? When you go to sleep, you're in a dream. You don't remember when the dream started, you just remember dreaming. When you wake up, you're born. So imagine remember you're having a nightmare and you just wake up out of the blue and you're like, oh, or you think you're peeing yourself and you wake up, oh, I'm not in the bathroom, I'm in that's being born. So waking up is a small version of being born. Going to sleep is a small version of death. So when you die, it's the same thing as when you go to sleep and you dream, but it's on a bigger scale. When you're born, it's the same thing as you waking up out of a dream and you're like, oh, I'm here. So always keep that in mind. So we're always aware of something. Our spirit is nothing. The spirit has to create something, even if that something is nothing. Even if you could create, your mind's so strong, you can create an awareness where you're in nothingness and you're in black, but you're still something. But you don't want to do that because that's hell right there. But your mind has to create something, even if that something looks like nothing. It's still something. But 0.999% of the time, you're gonna create what you're doing. So every dream you have is what you're doing. So when you die, you're gonna be in your own mind, and you're gonna be doing something. Just like when you went to sleep, you were dreaming and doing something, and eventually you're gonna wake up and be born from that, or you may be stuck in that for a long time. And then this is what they call hell, being stuck in your mind, and you can't wake up from that mental dream, and you're stuck in that shit. But you're always aware of something. So right now, since we're in a shift, everybody is forced to be aware collectively of some real shit personally. So a lot of people are like, you look at things different. This is why everybody on social media keeps saying everything is lame, everything changes, we're in a shift, nothing's fun anymore. This is the shift we're going through. Remember, I told you in my last video, you need to develop a lot of prana, chi, energy, and be your authentic self to be able to get back to that state of how when you felt when you were young. Not that you act like a baby, but in terms of that clarity, everything. Like, you see a kid, I seen a kid the other day, he was jumping on the sofa or on the like where you eat. It was at one of like the tables where people eat at. He was jumping on top of it, and the parents had to tell him to get down. But in his mind, it's fun to him. But as an adult, I'm not saying for you guys to do it, but that clarity, in order to tap into that, you have to be in that, have a lot of, your nervous system needs to be intact, and you need to be authentically yourself. A lot of people, they don't know they need to do that, or they may not be able to do that because the amount of discomfort and sacrifice that they're going to have to experience to lead to that, they don't want to do that. So a lot of people are stuck right now because everyone has the ability to live a peaceful, joyful life, but in order to get peace and joy and whatever you want mentally, it costs money. Just like if you want to go get some fucking cheap ass food from the convenience store, it costs money. They're not going to give it to you free. You got to either steal it, and even then, you can't steal this shit. The mental, you can't cheat that at all. So, but you have to pay for it, or you won't be able to get it. Same with this new shit. In order to get to that next mindset, you have to pay for it. You have to go through certain discomfort, pain, sacrifice. And a lot of people are stuck because they don't. A lot of people, this society teaches people to run from that. So a lot of people, they don't know that's what they're supposed to be doing. The things that they want to do, they're running from. So it leaves kind of like motherfuckers feel stuck. And then now, when somebody presents something, maybe you should do this, they look at you like you're crazy. Like, well, no, I don't need to do that. I need to find a way to get money, and then they can't get money. Oh, it's the government. It's this. I'm just gonna complain, and I'm gonna watch videos about other people complaining, so I can feel like I'm not alone. Like, bitch, you are alone. If you're suffering, you're alone, bitch. What baffles me, you'd be like, people go through depression every day. You're not. Let's just say somebody broke their leg or something. They'll be like, oh, a lot of people break their legs, so it's not that serious because no, you're alone, bitch. I could break my leg, you could break your leg. That doesn't mean we both broke our leg. You can feel more pain than me. There could be two homeless people. One person's homeless and he's depressed and he's miserable because he's homeless. The other person's homeless, he's not that depressed. Somebody got abused when they were children. One kid, he's abused, he got over it. He was able to shrug it off. Whatever, I'm gonna just still do my work. The other kid, he let that abuse get him to the point of suicide. This is why you see some people commit suicide. There's people who commit suicide because they went through something. Other people didn't commit suicide, and they went through the same thing because they didn't go through the same thing, because each individual circumstance is pertaining to you. So you are alone. Don't think that you can trauma bond, or I went through this and you went through it. No, you're not the same. You don't know their situation, and it may not even be affecting them as much as it's affecting you. You could be depressed and you want a trauma bond, but that person probably was depressed not that bad compared to you, and they went through worse than you. It's just because the way their mind is developed. So don't be trauma bonded, because you don't know what the fuck somebody went through. You don't know what the fuck somebody went through, and you don't think that, oh, I went through something negative, that and everybody else goes through what I went through, so we're all the same. No, bitch, that's not how it works. At the end of the day, you're your own self. Just like a motherfucker could go out and watch Godzilla. He's enjoying the movie. He's laughing. That was the best movie ever. You go watch Godzilla. You fucking hated that lame, boring ass shit. This ugly ass fucking dinosaur. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Breaking these buildings, nigga. That's a lot of fucking money he's making somebody spend to have to repair that shit. You looking at it differently. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's different perspective, and it goes for good and bad. Hold on, I'm gonna read some of these comments. Sorry about me not catching up on the comments. Yeah, this society is fear-based. Exactly. Like, this society is, life isn't fear-based. This society is fear-based. You got to differentiate life and society. Life is nothing wrong with life. Life is thriving. Life is doing good. Anything you see that's a problem is something that is something fake. It's something that of the system. It's something a man is controlling, a man that's miserable, and they about to not be able to come back, and they're about to be in a horrible situation when they die. That type of man, they're making everybody else life miserable because they have to project, because they're miserable and they know that when they die, they ain't coming back, and they're going to be in a horrible situation. They won't even have a spirit in their next life. Their spirit's going to be like cursed, like it's for a long time. Like, so if not permanently, like, because a lot of the shit they've done. There it is. It's called Social Security. They still want to work. Yeah, he's like, I have this older guy who can barely walk. He looks kind of stable and he limps every time he walks. He's still working. I'm like, damn. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. But some people like at the end of the day, it's like I like me. I have really nothing to say on that. I would never tell an old person, "Oh, you shouldn't work there," because maybe he needs to get money or something. So I would never tell somebody not to work at the 9 to 5. Like I can never tell somebody. I can only tell myself. I don't. One thing I don't do is I don't hate how somebody gets money. Like you even have people on here, right? Like they'll come on YouTube. There's something called e-begging, where people who have big audiences and they'll be asking for money. You have people out here trying to like destroy these people. Oh, you're begging for money on the internet. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, why do you care? And I get if somebody's scamming people, but if somebody's begging for money and the person's giving them money, like, why is that such a big deal? Like, at the end of the day, think why not talk about the system that puts people in a situation to even have to beg for money? Like, it's stupid. But yet society has everybody brainwashed. It's like the house nigga. The house nigga will protect the master. He'll protect the massa and everything. It's so funny. He'll protect the master on some bullshit and never look at the facts. But then the only reason he's protecting the master because he got more amenities. He's in a house. He's chilling. But once he feels the pain as a slave, then he'll change a different tune. That's why they have to always make the house nigga give him a lot of the amenities, because you don't want to like if I ran a criminal organization, I'm not gonna disrespect all my people. That's dumb, because they're gonna all turn on me. If I had a criminal organization, I'm gonna have a right hand person. I'm gonna have certain people that I put in charge with certain things, and then I'm gonna take care of those people very good. So anybody who's the bottom grunt worker, if they want to try to do something to me, they're gonna have to answer to these other people around me. I'm not alone. You see what I'm saying? I'm not alone, because you have to answer to them, and they're gonna have an interest to want to protect me, because I'm making them eat good. They're getting a piece of what I'm making, and they're getting taken care of. So it's like human psychology. If I was the only benefit and treat everyone like shit, they'll just take over me. No, so you always gotta make the house nigga give him the best shit. So it's always, that's why you see you. It's always a nigga who's like a puppet will sit there and talk about like, oh, these black people, they're out here doing this, they're out here doing, like, nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, don't talk to me about no black person. First of all, you in a gated community, you in a so-called good situation, and you talking about somebody of a low, you don't even know what the fuck they're going through, bitch. Shut the fuck up and mind your fucking business. Don't tell me about a black kid killing people. We kill our own people. Bitch, Europeans, didn't they kill their own people? Didn't you hear World War II in the fucking school? That's elementary. They taught you World War II. Do you see what Hitler did to all those Jews in that gas chamber? All of these wars, the Civil War, World War I, World War II. The fuck you talking about? And then aren't they bombing like Venezuela, Nigeria, all these countries, Iraq? White people kill other people too. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't understand that theory when they say, oh, black people, they kill our own people. And then even if you want to say that, what are mainly black people kill each other with? Guns. They make guns in China. They don't make guns in America, you idiot. Weaponry and all that military bombs and missile, that shit came from China. China has that shit on lock. That's why America doesn't fuck with China. That's why anytime when America has a problem with China, it has something to do with, oh, you can't do business in America. We're gonna make tariffs. Or it's always that shit. It's never like what they did with Venezuela or what they do with Mexico. If you don't get down with us, we're gonna come in there with our military. They can't do that with China, because that would be fucking stupid. And because China is more powerful than the United States in terms of they don't need the United States at all. They can, but they rather do business with it because America has a lot of consumers that like to consume a bunch of useless shit, and China knows how to make a lot of useless shit very cheap. So China wants that money. So they're like, okay, we want the money, so we'll fuck with you. But if it got to a point where China was like, nigga, fuck America, we can't. They can survive without the U.S. It ain't like these other countries at the point where they need the U.S. anymore. So, and to be honest, no country really needs it. But the mentality of the people of these countries, in a certain way, they do need it. The U.S. But shit is crazy though. Like how people want to just sit there and like always look down upon somebody and like I don't. That's one thing I don't do. Is I don't look down upon people. I don't. I may say motherfuckers stupid, but when I say that, I'm talking about like even motherfuckers who are millionaires who got money. Like these niggas are stupid. They're dumb as fuck. A lot of these people. I don't just say that. Oh, I'm like people in government. They're fucking retarded. They don't know shit. Anything the government knows, they stole it from native indigenous people or the working people who who built this who built this infrastructure that I'm living in right now. It wasn't nobody in government. It was probably some Mexicans or some people who worked in construction who need work. They built it. The only thing the government did was say, you can build it right there and make sure you come to our office we made and make sure you pass the regulations and the code is up to code and we make these codes based upon how we feel how we feel it should be to generate more money for us. That's all the reason they have regulations and codes. It's because of all capitalism and money to keep their shit going, because they can't make money if a motherfucking building is blown up because somebody wired the electricity wrong. They can't make, so it's all about money. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. So you come to our place and make sure it's up to code, but the government, they don't do shit. They don't have no knowledge. They don't have no wisdom. They don't have shit. They copy everything from the people because their spirit is like cursed. Even if you really look at the whole history, like the reason, like they even people say they came from Europe and then they took over these countries. You know why they came from Europe? Because Europe was a shithole. If the Europeans would have stayed in Europe, they would have fucking died probably. They probably would have died because they fucked up their country so bad, like it was to a point where they had to leave, or they would have faced extinction of their race. Like that's really, like, think about it. Why would you leave your country? Why has nobody else left their country? They want you to say, oh, it's because we're innovators, we're explorers, or well, no, that's not even the reason. That's what they say to make it look like it's good. They have to make it look good. Like you left because it was fucked up. It's like, imagine I left my fucking place because it was getting torn. It was getting run down. Like the walling was peeling and there was a bunch of dirt and it was dirty and it was all, and I left because it was dirty and it was uninhabitable and uninhabitable. But I tell you, I left because I found someplace better and I explored and I left because of it was uninhabitable. But what I'm telling you is to make it look like my place wasn't a shithole so it can look good. Well, I just wanted to leave so I could explore and we like get the fuck out of here. At the end of the day, it's like this is why like Europe, and then people say, oh, well, why does, like this idiot said, why does Europe look better than Africa then? You idiot. Everything in Europe that you want to say looks nice was stolen from every other country but Europe. So they have to go to India. They have to go to Africa. They have to have shit made in China. And then they import it to Europe to make it. Those gold buildings and all those parliament buildings, that material didn't come from fucking Europe. That shit came from other around the world and they made it. And then they shipped it to Europe and built it. Then none of that shit came from there. So that country wasn't really nothing. The only reason it looks like it didn't even look good to me. That looks like shit to me now. But like, let's just say the average person, they look at it like it has good infrastructure, whatever. Like the only reason it does is because what the fuck they did. They killed and they stole shit. Go to a motherfucking a credit card scammer's house. This nigga got some nice ass shit. He got a fat ass car. He got fucking a big ass kitchen, bitches. all up in it. But all of that was off scam money. He didn't get any of that money legitimately. That's how you go to Europe. None of that shit's legitimate. All of that shit, like, it's all bullshit. Okay, let me see. He's like, that's so true. Why do you think people are not liking social media no more? Like I said, it's because we're in a shift. A lot of people will say it's because nobody has any good content no more. Nobody's talking any intelligent no more. Nobody really ever was. Nobody's saying anything different than they were saying 5 years ago. For the most part, I'm not saying everyone. There's people out here who do talk real shit, and shout out to them and shit. And I don't get no shout outs. So I don't say no names on my channel. If you're not my channel, I don't say. I'll shout out Jay Bass because he's in here and he gives me shout outs. But as far as that, I don't just shout out any channel. But there are channels out there that do speak real shit, and there's only like a few, probably less than the fingers on my hand, this hand, that I can say. Probably a few, but if you think about it, nobody's saying anything. Like, everybody's saying the same thing. It's not that social media got worse. Social media has always been a shithole. It's just, in some ways it did get worse. Like, they're promoting narratives, they're promoting bullshit. But I would say 80% of it, nothing really has changed. It's just we're in a shift, and people, the collective conscious is switching. So when they talk about the economy collapse, when they talk about the system collapsing, nobody trusting the government, it has nothing to do more per se externally. This is an internal thing. So when we're in a different shift, the air is different, the atmosphere is different, the ecosystem, the nature, everything is not the same. It's resonating on a different frequency. So the water you're drinking is not the same water as it was 10, 15, 20 years. It's differently on a spiritual level. So when people inhale all of this information, breathing in all this air, atmosphere, all of this shit, is making people think different, because this is the shift is connected to these things. So when you watch certain Hollywood movies, they don't hit the same compared to, like, when the people say, oh, the Matrix 4 movie is sucked. But then they said the first Matrix was the best. No, it wasn't. The first Matrix was just a regular movie. The reason you think it is because it was released during that time. If that wasn't the case, go watch the Matrix movie now. That shit's lame as fuck. Go watch any old movie or show right now. I'm not gonna say you're gonna say it's lame, but it's not gonna hit the same as it did 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And tell me I'm lying. I'm not saying you won't say, like, I'm not gonna say you're gonna say the movie sucks, but if you watch a movie that you liked 20 years ago and you watch it right now, it's not going to hit the same as when you watched it 20 years ago. That's the shift. So their Hollywood movies, their news program, it doesn't work. There used to be a time when I was young when the news, when Fox and CNN said something, that held weight. If they said we're going into Iraq to start a war back in 2003, I remember when they said that shit. That shit held weight. Everybody was like, Patriot, America, we're gonna get them. They're trying to destroy everybody. That shit held. Everyone was happy. Nowadays, because we're in a ship, it's like, why the fuck are we in war? Like, and even if another country did, even if it was another country that was attacking America, let's just say Bangladesh was attacking America. The first question that's going to go through people's mind is, what the fuck did America do to piss off Bangladesh for them to want to attack us? Because we're in a different shit. We're questioning the people's motives. Like, why is the government showing us this stupid fucking shit? Because we're in a shit. So, like, the government, they know this. So this is why they have to switch it up. And none of that shit works because you can't cheat the shit. Like, remember saying everything costs money? You can't cheat it. You have to do shadow work. You have shadow work. I have shadow work. The people in government, they have shadow work. If you're controlling the system, let's just say you have a job, a 9 to 5, you have a house, you got kids. That's your situation. You have to get that in order. That's part of your shadow work. Whoever controls the government, they have shadow work because they're a spirit in the body. They're part of their shadow work is getting their system and making amends, but they're not doing their shadow work correctly. They're just somebody who wants to keep living in the old world. They're not doing their shadow work. So this is why it's not, their system is gonna keep getting fucked up. And even if like because you guys don't see everything that goes on behind the closed doors, because they're not gonna show you. A lot of shit goes down. This is why a lot of them crashing out. They get hella mad. Like, think about it. Why would a trillionaire with trillions of dollars in their bank account? They talk about how Elon Musk is the first trillionaire. He got like $600 billion or some shit. So imagine the people who write his check. How much money the people you don't see who write his check. Because Elon Musk, he ain't shit. He just a fucking, I don't even think I think he's like, he has a chip in his brain. Like Elon Musk and the dude from Facebook. Don't quote me on this, but I think they have like a neuro chip, because they have access to technology before we do. But if you look at the way they talk, like especially the dude from Facebook, he looks so animated, and the way he looks. Look at the nigga from Facebook, the Zuckerberg. I think he has a chip. People say he's a clone. It's not that they're a clone. He has a chip in his brain. Because when you have a chip, it allows you, it makes your mind act like you don't act normal, because the chip is supposed to like so-called enhance your thinking, and you're in a synthetic way and shit. And you can see somebody like, I could be wrong, but I think they got a chip, because they be acting like Elon Musk, because Elon Musk and the Zuckerberg, they have access to all that technology and shit. They have access to all the future AI and all, because they're like I don't know what the fuck their purpose is. I don't even know if Mark Zuckerberg, he even creates Facebook, and Elon Musk, he doesn't create. I don't even think they create Tesla. I think there are other people that do it, and they're just like a spokesperson for Tesla and Facebook. I don't even think they actually even deal with the technology. I don't even think so. But like, I forgot what I was saying. I said shit. What the fuck was I saying? But yeah, it's all bullshit. No, yeah, I was like, how can somebody with trillions of dollars, like be so invested into shit that you don't even think is important? Like, you have all this money. Go sit your old ass down and relax and chill and just calm the fuck down. But if they're not doing that, then you know there's a problem. So all of this money, American dream, that shit never existed, because the people in the government, they don't even practice what they preach. They don't practice what they preach when it comes to the Bible. They don't practice what they preach when it comes to the American dream. So they so-called supposed to have the American dream, but why are you still bombing countries? Why don't you go sit the fuck down and go retire somewhere with your old ass? Why are you? It's because there's something else going on, because they're spiritually cursed. A lot of spirits on this land. Because when you come over to a land that doesn't belong to you, and you start killing, raping, pillaging the resources, and making money off of it, those spirits that you killed, they're still in the land. Because when you killed those spirits, they went through so much trauma, their spirit can't move on. So their spirit is stuck here and is trying to get a revenge and to make amends so they can move on. So they have to work that trauma out. So the spirits don't just leave. A lot of those spirits, they haunt. This is what they call haunted, because you killed a spirit when you weren't supposed to, and then that spirit's not gonna just move on. Like, if I just go and kill somebody, like a guy's working with his daughter, I go get a gun and shoot her in the head, and I go home and go to sleep, and then I wake up, police knocking on my door. Like, what did I expect? Like, something's gonna happen. People are gonna investigate and try to see. But these dumbasses, they don't understand, like, that energy goes out everywhere. Like, they don't practice what they preach. They preach, don't commit a crime, don't kill, because we'll get you. But then they go and kill indigenous, and then they wonder why they got mental illness and they got all these problems, and they fucking, because they don't show you a lot of shit. They don't show you a lot of it. You gotta understand, like, a lot of these people, they really fucked up. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers, like, they have certain health issues and certain mental illness that you can't cure. Like, a lot of these politicians, a lot of these people who run it, they have mental illnesses that you can't get rid of, because health is a spiritual thing. When you have a health problem and you heal, you're not healing the health issue. You're healing your spirit. So the Great Spirit is allowing you to heal. Health is like, oh, I have an illness and I'm going to heal. No, the Spirit is allowing you to heal. Certain things you're not in control of when it comes to the human body and health. Some of these bases and shit, they have certain issues they can't get rid of because it's like they're cursed, because they've done so much fucked up shit. They're not allowed to be healed naturally. Like this is why like you have the it's crazy, man. Like this shit gets really deep. Hold on, I keep forgetting the comment. He's like, you made this video on time considering not working. Honestly, I'm not worth the path of nothing. Okay, yeah, I feel you, man. Just do what you feel like. I don't want to tell anyone to work or to not work. Like, do what you feel like you need to do. If you feel like that's a good decision, then don't work. Like, because I don't want to like tell somebody and then they go and put themselves in a situation where they're homeless and they don't have nothing, and it's something I did. Like, I don't know your situation, but if you feel you don't need to work, then do what you feel intuitively that's right for you. Because you gotta always ask yourself, where is this getting me? People say, well, you're paying rent, you're able to make it, which okay, I get it, but at the same time, like if you have a plan, anybody that's scared of, oh, I might be homeless because of this, that's somebody who doesn't have a plan. Because if you have a plan and you're tapped into spirit, even if you were to get homeless, it will only be temporary because the spirit will create a way. If you're listening to it 100%, you're authentically yourself, it will create a way where you're stable, even if it means you find somebody to be able to stay with until you get on your feet, or it's just something will happen. Don't think about how it's going to happen though. You can't think, because when you start thinking that you're thinking too much, that you don't need to be, just start living in the present and doing, and take each day don't take it each day. People say take it day by day. No, you need to take it minute by minute, second by second. Fuck day by day. Take a day by day. No, hell no. In this new shift, you got to take it second by second, minute by minute. What am I doing right now that I can do in the next 5 minutes to keep doing this? What am I doing in the next 30 minutes? What am I, and look at it from a minute perspective and be in the present. Because anything regarding the future, that's you thinking. You could think Mickey Mouse is gonna come tomorrow in the next 3 months. That's just not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. But you can also think I'm gonna be homeless in 3 months. That shit could not happen too. But why would you think that and stress yourself out for something you know not gonna happen? And if you were thinking about positive things to be on your spiritual path, you wouldn't even need to think that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't even need to think that, because you'll automatically be thinking about what you can do right now. This is why I say do not take it day by day. Take it minute by minute, second by second. What are you doing at this minute, this second, at this time, today, within this day? What I can do. You see time speeding up. That we can't take it day by day. Because with time speeding up, the days aren't even the same as it was before. So now, since the days are speeding up, you don't have that much grace. Like in a way you do, but in a way you don't. So certain shit can start happening quicker because like we're at a different time. Like you don't got as much grace anymore. You don't have as much like leeway from the universe because shit's happening so quick. Because just like time is speeding up, negative things can speed up and positive things can speed up. So a lot of things you're hoping to, like, oh, I need to get into line. I'm trying to reach my goals. A lot of your goals can happen within the next few weeks and next month if you stick to it. But you're thinking that old paradigm where I have to be doing this for 6 years or I'm behind, and you don't know something. You could be doing something in the next 2 months. You could be in a whole different situation because we're in a different time right now. Everything is accelerated. They say time is accelerated. Matter or the material is accelerating too. It's not just time, because Time is a measurement between space. That's all time is. The only reason time exists is to measure the distance of space. How long it takes me to get from this distance to that distance. That's time. That's the only reason time exists. What else are you using time for? You use time to measure the distance of within space. How long does it take for me to complete this task at work? 8 hours a day. That's a measurement within space. That's all time is. So the matter within space is going to be accelerating. So you'll be able to gain more and lose quicker. But you want to be on the right energy. You're going to be on the right energy. So we in a new time right now. So if you on your path of authentic self, you'll be able to get better, get up more, get up quicker. I don't like to use the word manifest because that shit doesn't even, you're not manifesting shit. You working for every fucking thing you get. Ain't nobody manifest a damn thing for me. Everything I did, if I didn't do myself, it wouldn't. Obviously, you could say the spirit, it helped you because the spirit will guide you and help you, and that's it. But that's not manifesting. If you didn't do what you have to do, none of that shit will work. Ain't nobody manifesting shit. That shit's retarded. You talk about, it's funny how all this manifesting shit talk was back in like 2016, 2017, even like 2021. Like everyone was speaking about manifesting and shit. Where is that now? All you hear is everybody complaining about how there's no opportunities and life sucks and everything's boring. How do we get from I'm a manifested of my reality to the average fucking video, and the average person is in a somber like state complaining about the cost of Cheerios and how they can't afford to shop anywhere but Walmart? I thought you're a big bad manifester. What the fuck happened? And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't even really take YouTube, and like Infinite Waters, they're not getting views no more. And it's not to say like spirituality is wrong, and but it's how people will look. People looked at spirituality as like a coping or a cop out. Like, oh, since I'm spiritual, I'm protected by the universe and my life's gonna go good. Like nobody looked at it like, no, like spirituality is just another word for discipline. Anytime you hear anybody talk about spirituality and they're not talking about discipline, you need to look at them like a retard. Spirituality is another word for discipline. If you don't have discipline, you don't have spirituality. So this is why you see a lot of people with crystals and copper wire on their nappy head ass dreads. They got all this copper wire and shit on their nappy dreads and crystals on their fucking pinkies and shit, but they still work at Burger King. It's because they don't got no discipline. You see what I'm saying? It has something to do with discipline. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's all spirituality is. Anybody talking about spirituality and is not talking about discipline, they're just somebody who's into that new age bullshit. They probably tell you some fairies exist and they fucking, if you stick your dick in a crystal bed, you'll probably grow 10 inches. Like they'll probably tell you some dumb shit like that, or drink your urine. Like stupid ass shit like that. And they'll tell you how like that's so intelligent. And I'm not saying you can't drink your urine. You can drink it. You can drink it. You can also drink fucking soda. You can also drink alcohol. You can also fucking drink water. Like, you can drink anything, nigga. The fuck? So I don't see how like, and when you look at these people who say stupid shit like that, like there's the same people who wear fucking crystals and they talk all this spiritual, but what are they doing? Do they have any discipline? I guess drinking your urine and wearing copper wire on your nappy ass dreads, that's supposed to be spiritual. Obviously it isn't. Not because I said so, but when you go out into reality and when you look at life, it shows you otherwise. Don't take what I'm saying as fact. Go outside and do your fucking homework and look at reality. Everything you see on social media, especially everything you see on social media, always fact check it with going outside and observing reality, observing people, observing life. Life is the number one book. When you go outside, you look at life. Even when you talk about astrology, Aries season. Aries is the first season. Aries is a fire sign, they say. Don't go on the internet and look at Aries. Go outside. When is Aries season? Aries season starts on March 23rd, 24th, the end of March. What happens when you go to the end of March? It's spring. Things start growing in the ground. Okay, what's Aries? It's the first sign. It's a new sign. It's a fire sign. It's warm. It starts getting warm. You got to look at reality. What's Capricorn sign? Capricorn is looked at as the horn, the devil. It's Saturn. They look at it as a devil. This is why they have Christmas on right when the sun gets into Saturn, because it's a Masonic holiday. They worship Saturn. They're dumbasses, so they worship that dumb. They like shit that's dead. European is a dead country. It's cold in Europe. Nothing grows. There's no fruit there. That's Capricorn energy. The people in government come from. See, you see when you go out in real life, you can see what's going on. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, you go out in real life and fact check everything. Anything that you can't fact check with real life isn't real. Anything because real life, everything that's supposed to be information, if it's true, it came from real life. Where else could it come from? If you don't see it in real life, it doesn't exist. It's bullshit. Always keep that shit in mind. Always keep that in mind. Didn't you say because it's Saturn and Neptune, so they are made that spirituality has become more powerful, so the leech. No, Saturn and Neptune doesn't mean spirituality is getting more powerful. It could mean that if you're on the positive side of it, but Saturn and Neptune can be like the worst time for spiritual people, or it could be the best time. You usually, because right now you got to understand, like, collectively, this is not really a good time. I'm not saying, when I say this, don't mean that life is supposed to be depressing, life is supposed to be sad. I'm not saying, but collectively, looking at the energies, this is a very dark time for humanity, for everyone. Even if you're the most spiritual, we're in a dark time right now, permanently, but this energies we're in right now, especially this next month we're coming into, is going to be a lot of like transits that are, even if you get into deep astrology, there are certain transits that align with certain negative, hostile energies. It's a very dark time. Humanity, usually around this time, this is why you see a lot of people are depressed, miserable. A lot of it is to do with the energies. It's not just people are, a lot of it has to do, this is why I tell you guys, like, try this. It's a very important time right now to get your mind right, because the energies is more predominantly dark and negative collectively for everybody. Even if you are spiritual and you're doing everything, it's going to be kind of somber, because this is just the time we're in, and it's going to be like this for the next couple years. After the next couple years, we're going to start getting out of it, especially once Saturn leaves Aries in like 2 years, 2.5 years. Then we'll kind of get out of it, and you'll have a little, because Saturn will be in Aries, so it'll be when Saturn's in Aries, it'll be a little bit more stability. Even though it can still be problems, it'll be more grounded, because Taurus is next sign is Taurus. Taurus is more like is more stable, and it's not to say it's not no issues, but it's gonna be a little bit more like leveled. But right now, for at least the next year and a half, it's gonna be kind of rough, because we're like in this deep transition. So you gotta like be careful with your mind, and because Saturn and Aries really, that shit, you got to remember, Saturn is reality, Neptune is dream. So you can, like, Saturn and Neptune, that right there can mean a nightmare, because Saturn is they correlate Saturn with the devil. Saturn is like, it's, even though it's not the devil, but the Masons, they worship Saturn. That's what they have Christmas. It's worshiping Saturn. It's Saturn is like, can be a negative energy. It could be a positive because there's no good or bad. But on the negative side of Saturn, the negative Saturn and Neptune, that negative is a nightmare. That's a nightmare energy because Neptune is dreams, spiritual, illusions, the non-physical. That's Neptune energy. Saturn is reality, is dense. On the negative aspect, it could be something very negative, like somebody getting their head chopped off. And did you see that movie, The Saw? That's Saturn energy. Shit, that's the negative Saturn, like the Saw. The dude, he just had a torture chamber, and he said, "You got to do this if you want to do this. You got to go through all this pain." And it was That's the negative Saturn, like the Saw. So when you take that and you compare it with Neptune, that can lead to nightmares. It can lead to your nightmares becoming reality if you're not careful. It could be very dark. A lot of witchcraft and negative mental, like you may be being attacked on a spiritual level negatively. So a lot of your spiritual aura and negative energy spiritually can influence your reality. So negative shit might be happening to you, but it's because spiritually you're in a dark space. So if you're in a dark space spiritually, it's going to play out a lot more within this shift. So this is why I say you got to be careful with this energy right now, because it's not really a good time collected for anybody right now. Is you have to be really on your shit right now, to be honest. And I don't mean to say that to scare you guys and be like, oh, this is a bad time. But this is the truth. Like, we're not really in the most happiest times collectively for anybody. This is for anybody. This is not just sorry, this is for anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, everybody's going through some shit right now because everything's getting switched up. Like, even like the government, they crashing out. So within the next couple years, you're gonna see a lot of shit happen within this government. They're gonna be doing a lot of shit, whatever they do. But a lot of the shit they do, it probably is not gonna look pretty to most people. But you gotta understand, like, everybody's crashing the fuck out right now. Everybody's going through their own shit. So, like, it's gonna play out in your life personally. And if you start seeing the government start doing some crash out shit, then remember what I told you. Is because of this energy we're in. Like, and know that they're doing it out of a place of hurt. Hurt people. So these people are hurt. They don't know what's going on. They tripping. They wigging the fuck out right now. So they're doing a lot of crazy shit. They have to make Trump say some crazy shit. They gotta fucking have they fucking ICE members kill a couple people. They gotta crash out because they going through it. So like that's what I'm saying. Crash out. Why do you think they create that word crash out, nigga? Because the government is the people that crash out harder than anyone. You can see somebody going out killing people. The government does that shit 10 times worse. They kill people in other countries. They rape, pillage. They do a whole bunch of fucked up shit. And the reason they do it is because a lot of fucked up shit happened to them behind closed doors. So they're going through a lot of shit. So like they're angry and they're hurt. So they have to project that pain and misery onto everyone else. I remember you pointed out that that you said no one is unique. And yes, I can definitely see that. I want to say no one's unique, but most people aren't unique. You're right. Like, most people aren't unique. They've lost their uniqueness, or they're just not unique. Not everyone is actually human as well. You always got to keep that in mind. Not everybody has the same type of organs too. Like I said in my last video, we all have a spine, right? But my spine is not the same as most people's spines. And there may be other people, their spine may have more vertebrates or things in them that I don't have. This is where awareness, intelligence, like, you got to understand, like, when you see a cat, you will never ever convince a cat to walk to the store, pick you up some blunts, go to the weed shop, pick up some weed, put on Netflix, and choose a movie for you guys to watch. You will never ever be able to get a cat or an animal to do that, because it is not their awareness to do that. They don't have the organs. They don't have the awareness. They're just not there spiritually. So when you see another human being and you're waiting in line at Target, you have to think that same logic with other humans. Just because a human looks human and they have a shirt, they go to the store, they work at your job with you, doesn't mean they have the same capacity to think. They don't have the same spine. They don't have the same organs as you. Even if they have a heart, their heart may not be the same type of heart. It may have certain type of neurons within the brain that they don't have. So you're able to think more clear and grasp more concepts. They only can believe in Jesus because they're not able to think like you. So they're not on your level. They're a different type of a species. You guys think species means, oh, that's a bug, that's a cat, that's a dog. No, there's human beings that are different species. You have a ladybug, you have a fly, you have a ladybug, you have a bed bug and a ladybug. They're both bugs, but one is an elegant ladybug, one's a bed bug. It's a piece of shit. You have humans that are enlightened and on their shit, and you have rednecks and government and people who are just like bald-headed Trump support. I'm not saying not to hit on people who are bald-headed and shit. I got a few people who bald-headed, and I'm not. It's nothing to do with that, but like you guys get what I'm saying. Like somebody who believes, who's like those Trump supporters, or somebody who's like into politics, and they're all patriotic. That's not. That person isn't the same as you and me. That person doesn't have the same brain neurons. They don't have the same spinal structure. They're not the same. So you have to deal with people on that level and not get too upset when you see people acting stupid, because you know that you're not going to get mad at a dog because it doesn't do what you say. Yeah, you may say, sit the fuck down and get mad, but you would never get as mad as a dog for telling it to sit and it doesn't sit, compared to if you had kids and your kid is like 10 and he's like, sit down, and he doesn't sit. You'll be like, motherfucker, you listen to me, motherfucker. You know what I said. Versus a dog, you may get a little mad, but it's not the same species. But with a human, you have to start not getting angry like that. You have to start being, okay, this is another species. They try to make it look, oh, we're all human. We all bleed. At the end of the motherfucking day, we all fucking bleed, but at the same fucking time, like, what does that mean? I'm a spirit first. The body came second. The spirit creates the organs and what's going on within the body. So, yeah, we bleed, but what else do we do? They say, oh, we all bleed, but do we all have the same spine? We all bleed, but do we all spine the same? Do we all brain the same? You see what I'm saying? We don't. Like when I told you guys, when I did yoga, the only reason I'm able to not eat like days at a time and it's easy for me to go and I don't need to drink as much is because of yoga on my neck. I don't tell you guys anything else. I don't say it's because of Qigong. I don't say it's because, I'm not saying there's other breatharians who they may have gotten it through Qigong, but that wasn't my path, the way I did it. I did it through yoga. Ever since I started yoga 2021, I have been having changes in my appetite. Before 2021, I have a video that was in September of 2020. I had a whole box of junk food that I was going to eat. And I didn't even eat a lot of this shit because by the time 2021 started and I started doing yoga, my appetite went all over the place. It was a gradual process, but after like 2 years, I remember I could not eat like half the shit I can eat. Now it's like I literally can't eat shit. And it's because of the yoga. I do yoga every day. Just 2 months ago, I was able to consume shit I can't consume now. And it's because of the stretching, because like the blockage, it's still there. Like I have a knot in my neck, but the knot is so, you guys don't understand. This knot was so deep. Back in 2021, the knot was so bad. My neck was swollen. I had a swollen neck. And when I used to do this, I used to have a double chin because my spine was not in alignment. My spine was so misaligned. So when I used to do this, I can't do it no more, but I used to have a double chin because my vertebrae on my spine weren't stacked correctly. So my skin on my neck was kind of saggy a little. Like I wish I had my old videos, you will be able to see, like, I'm gonna see if I can if I can see a video like my whole, because you won't really be able to see it because it's really, but I couldn't even bend my neck. Like I could bend my neck all the way over here, right? Like this, like literally twist it and hold it. Back in 2021, I couldn't even bend my neck like this. this was stressful. And I used to think it was normal to not be able to bend your neck. Like, and then over time, it just got looser and looser. And then my appetite started changing. I used to have stuttering issues and like severe OCD and tics and stuttering, severe. Like I couldn't really get my word. I had to take speech class because I didn't know how to like put my words together, and I would stutter a lot. But now, like I'm talking to you guys, it's because of the yoga. It's not because of nothing else. Even like it's like all of this shit is because of the yoga I've been doing but I'm not saying everybody who does yoga is gonna have my experience. Like I said, everybody's spine isn't the same. My energy in my spine was different from the beginning based upon spiritually, and I just had to do yoga. There's other people who've been doing yoga a lot. This is one female. Shout out to her channel, Cole Chance. I give her a shout out because I fuck with her channel because that was one of the first yoga things. When I seen her channel, I did her yoga pose. That was one of the first channels I seen I did yoga on, and I fuck with her channel. She been doing yoga further than me. I've never heard her talk about breatharian. And not to say I'm better than anyone, because everybody's on their own path. And breatharian shit, that shit don't matter on the grand scheme. It matters to me because I'm doing it. But if that isn't your path, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean shit to you. So I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm better at this. But other people who've been doing it longer, they're not into breatharian. And it isn't their path, but they may be into vegan or raw vegan or fruitarian, whatever it is. But all I know is like it does create change in everyone, though. It does create change in everyone. If you not in everyone, I can't say everyone, because like I said, everyone isn't human. Everyone isn't the same type of human because there's different levels of human. Like you got different types of animals. You got dogs. You got wolves. Not the same shit. You got me. You got a redneck who probably watches C-SPAN and Fox News. Not the same fucking thing. Different species. They're able to entertain that shit. I can't stand that shit. Two different things. A fly can eat shit. A ladybug can't. Two different fucking things. Just because I'm human and I look like a human doesn't mean I'm the same type of human. We're different. They're subhuman. They're subhuman, and they don't want to tell you that because they go, oh, that's disrespectful. No, bitch, that's not this. That's facts. Go out in life. You don't even have to disbelieve me. Go out in life. You see they're subhuman. You see somebody who's a fat beer belly and he's just retarded. He talks stupid like a redneck. I don't want to just say just redneck, but just that whole redneck energy. They talk retarded. They look retarded. They have no intelligence. That's a subhuman. They're retarded. Their spirit's retarded. I'm not saying they can't get to another level, but they're going to have to go through lifetimes of training. But we're not all the same human. Some people are just retarded and they're a subhuman. That's what you call a subhuman. They need everything that they learn. They have to get it from a book. They need somebody's help. They need religion. They need a teacher. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a teacher. There's nothing wrong with a teacher. You need teachers. And I'm not saying I've never learned anything from a teacher, but when like 90% of your knowledge is from a teacher and 90% of your knowledge isn't from life and experiences, and you tapping in and remembering what you already know, because once you unblock your nervous system, then you unlock your memories and you know everything that you know. See what I'm saying? It's like you did something when you were 4 years old. It's ingrained in you. Your spirit knows what you did, but you probably forgot it. But if you unlock that, you can remember it. You see what I'm saying? Your spirit always knows certain things you did within this life and other lives. Once you unlock the memory, you know how life is. You're not going to know. You'll know everything based upon your experience. Like I said, if you were 4 years old and you talk to somebody, you know that you talked to them. You can say you forgot, but remember this. Does you forgetting take away the experience? No. You still have that experience. And if you have the experience, it's ingrained in you. You had it. It's a part of you. So you know it happened. Your spirit knows and remembers it. You may have just forgot. Certain information we can unblock and we can remember, but you have to unleash your nervous system and all that shit. So that's why I said, like, most of your information, if it has to be from like an external source or a teacher or something, then, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with teaching. Some people, they need to. And if you're a person who, let's just say you're a subhuman and and you know you're a subhuman, and you're like, okay, I'm a subhuman and I'm retarded and I need help, and nothing wrong with it. You admitting to that and doing what you gotta, even if it means you need assistance or you need to take it slow and do certain things, that's good because you're building yourself. To be ignorant and be like, oh, what you're saying is wrong, and then continue to be retarded, that's worse. But you gotta remember that, like, not everyone is like the same person. But that's when people talk about, oh, aliens. It ain't no alien. It's nigga, like, it's funny how everybody wants to talk about aliens, but then nobody wants to talk about subhuman people that aren't human. Like, everyone assumes that, oh, we're all the same. No, we're not all the same. Like, black people, I can say, oh, we're all black, we're all melanated. Yeah, we're all black people, but we ain't the same spirit, nigga. You just as we got the same color skin, you ain't my kinfolk, motherfucker. I'm not cool with you. Not all black people even the same. Some black people got more European. Some black people are more white than I seen some non-black people. Like my features, I have more African type features. I see some black people, they have more European features, and the way they think more European. They think like the white man. It's funny because I seen Brother Polite, and Brother Polite, he's African, and he kind of has my features, and like he's like the only person in the whole conscious community I fuck with. Like, he's the only one that talks. Brother Polite is the only one in a whole black conscious community I actually respect. Like, he's the only one, and it's funny how they had to lock that nigga up for the 7 years because he's a threat. Anybody who's a threat, they want to get rid of. You notice how they didn't get rid of any other of these niggas because they want a threat. They were talking stupid shit. What the fuck was Brother Polite doing? They say he raped some girl. I don't believe that shit. They set him up for that shit. I don't believe that shit at all. And then if he did do that shit, how the fuck he get? They say he was gonna get 40 years. He was looking at a long time, but now it went down to 7 years. If he really did that shit, his ass would have been in jail for years. And even the crime they got him for, it had nothing to do with that rape shit. It was some other stupid shit. I don't know. Like, it was all fake. All of that shit was fake. They got rid of him because years before Polite went to jail, he used to go live on his channel and talk about finances and shit. And I remember this nigga's like, a lot of the government, they fucking with my businesses, and I don't be telling you guys everything, but they be fucking with my businesses behind the scenes. I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, I wonder what they're doing to his businesses. And a few years later, like a year later, they come out with the scandal. This nigga's in jail. And I'm like, this is the government, they fucking with him. Because he already said that they were fucking with his business because they didn't like him because he was a smart, intelligent nigga, and he was like he got in the system, and he was like somebody he wasn't supposed to be. You know how you have these puppets and shit? They have a puppet, or they'll have people like celebrities, and then they'll get in the system. Like, could I say Cardi B, Mayweather, LeBron? Like, they're in the system. Like, Polite, he somehow got in the system, but they weren't able to use him. Like, they wanted him to be like Billy Carson, or they wanted him to be like what are these people like these celebrities, like Billy Carson type person, like somebody who just talks stupid shit, spiritual, and like a puppet. Or they wanted him to be like one of these celebrities that just like Charleston White or something. They wanted him to be like some type of puppet celebrity on the internet, and he didn't want to do that. And he was in that crowd. So if you're in that, this is what I think happened. If you're in that crowd, and you don't want to play by their rules, like somehow he was able to hack his way into that circle with celebrities and being in that type of like group, but he wasn't playing by their rules. So I think they started attacking him because he didn't want to be like how they wanted him to be. Because if you look at him, he was around Mayweather. He was around all these he was like living, and he had like millions of dollars and shit. He was like living a lifestyle like you see a lot of these puppets live. Like Bandman Kevo, like he's a puppet. That Bandman Kevo, this nigga got Donald Trump and Elon Musk tatted on his leg. Everybody called Bandman Kevo a coon, a sellout. But if you were in Bandman Kevin's shoes, Bandman Kevin doesn't give a fuck about Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Bandman Kevo, he cares about money. He cares about successful business deals. If you listen to Bandman Kevo, he said he knows billionaires. That means he knows Mason. So he has a handler. So when he got that tattoo on his leg, he was in that. They looked at it like, okay, he's one of us now. He really got a tattoo of Elon Musk and Donald Trump on his leg. And if you don't believe me, go on Bandman Kevo's page. He has a tattoo of Elon Musk on his fucking thigh and Donald Trump on his leg. And that's some gay shit. Like how the fuck can you? But he did it because he's an extreme coon. So this is why you see Bandman Kevo. This nigga, he got money. He had a $14,000 designer suit on, and this nigga changes clothes every day. So they giving him money. They're giving him certain. He's like linked up with the billionaire. He's making like billionaire money. He has billionaire business deals. So he's getting money like, so he's really in it. And they only allow you to be in it unless you fully sell out. So that nigga, that's why once he got that shit tattooed on him, that was like a sign that like, oh, he's one of us. They wanted Polite to be that shit. Polite didn't want to be that shit, but somehow Polite was in that type of shit still. He was able to still, so now I think that's why they were fucking with him, because he somehow hacked his way in it, or they allowed him in it because he did something to allow them for the gatekeepers to allow him in, and then he did. And once he got in, he didn't play by the rules, or it's either that or he snuck his way in it somehow. But either or, he was in a certain energy, like with these millionaires and these politics, all that. He was in that shit, but he wasn't acting like he was supposed to act when you're in it. Because when you're in that, you can't have an opinion. You have to talk a certain way, and you have to act and present yourself a certain way. You have to be like an idiot or somebody who's oblivious to life to be in that type of situation. Polite was very outspoken. He spoke his shit, and they didn't like that. So they have to take him down. They tried to take him down. I don't know exactly. All I know is he didn't do that shit with that girl. All that shit they said he did. He didn't do that shit with that girl. Why the fuck would he do that? Like they say, oh, he met her out. What happened was the girl that he was with, that raggedy, dingy ass fucking bitch. Because Polite be meaning, when you have a lot of money like Polite and you're in that system, you're shaking hands with a lot of people. You have a lot of networking. This is why all these billionaires, all these financialists, they'll tell you, networking, meet people. That's good and it's bad, because it's good is you can make money, but if the government wants to put a psyop on you, they can use your networks to do that. And Polite met some very slimy piece of shit individuals, and one of them was a female that he was with, and she used her kid because they probably paid that bitch. And this is why you never seen the bitch on YouTube talk about anything, even till this day, even though the case is over. I don't think I see. Maybe they did. I stopped following the case when he went to jail, but you never seen that bitch talk about anything about the case. You never see her show her face, because it was a government agent that they hired, and she had a kid, and they paid her money, and they set up a whole story to try to take Polite down. And they kind of did it, but they tried to get him for years. But like they hella set that shit. It's the same shit they did with Nature Boy. Same shit they did with him. The reason Nature Boy got fucked up is because Nature Boy was kind of like, he was kind of dumb. He kind of like played too much into their shit, because they do that shit on other people, but it doesn't go as far as Nature was. Nature Boy was he was kind of like, he did too much. He gave them ammunition. That's the word. Nature Boy like gave them a lot of ammunition for them to exercise. Other people, like when you see Young Pharaoh, Polite, they couldn't do what they did to Nature Boy on them, because they didn't give him that much ammunition, and they played it differently. That's why Young Pharaoh, only thing they could do to him was get rid of his platform. That's all they did, because they did the same shit with Young Pharaoh, because they were gonna invite once they tried to invite Young Pharaoh to the Republican convention. I was like, this nigga's fucking crazy, because he's shaking hands with the devil now. Like, why would you even go to a public? And then they turned him down from it because he did something. But even before that, they were already, because they mentioned him on Jimmy Kimmel Live, which is a Masonic platform, and they were going to invite him to the Republicans. So they were already watching Young Pharaoh. They wanted Young Pharaoh to be like a puppet. But Young Pharaoh, he said and did something, so they took all his fame and his platforms away, because when you're a puppet and you don't do what they say, or you don't be how they thought you were going to be, they have to take it away from you, because they gave him the energy, the celebrity status and the energy, but they have to take it away from him because he didn't play by their rules in their game. So because he was talking a certain way, he was acting a certain way, he didn't present himself. So this is why they have to take down Nature Boy, or not Nature Boy, but Young Pharaoh. So they didn't take him to jail, but they just took his shit away from him. Because if you look at his security guard, look at Young Pharaoh's security guard was his fucking handler. They tried to, he tried to be Young Pharaoh's hand. Like when they say, oh, Young Pharaoh, they spiked his drink, or they did all that shit because it was a government psyop. His security guard was in on it, because if you look at one of Young Pharaoh's lives, he said his security guard used to work in Hollywood and used to be a security for major Hollywood people, and he met his security guard in California at one of his conventions in California. It was one in Sacramento. He said that. So they implanted his security guard to handle him, and it didn't go like they wanted to, so they had to take his shit down. But they tried to make Young Pharaoh a puppet. When they can't make you a puppet, and they promote you, give you the energy, the money, and all of that shit. Because if they trying to make you a puppet and you don't play by the rules, then they just leave you alone. But when they give you money, fame, and they give you something, and then you double back and you switch up, then that's when they can. That's when they can like start doing these crazy psyops on you, or when you start doing something that's very interesting. There's people on this platform who they never even gave anything like that to, but they attacked them because of the information that they're speaking and shit. So in certain cases, like you can hurt their feelings so much where they can just start doing psyops and shit. And even then, I wouldn't say that, because a lot of these people, I'm not naming no names, but there's people on this platform. There's things that they're doing in real life that they deliberately don't say. Like there's certain things that they're building and doing, and they don't say it online because it will make it even like. Because the reason they didn't say it online is I'm looking at like they don't want to put that attention. But these people who run this shit, they be spying and be like doing weird shit, so they know what these people are doing behind closed doors. So what happened is they since they know, they start attacking them. So then when you're looking online, like, why are they attacking this person for no reason? But if you knew what they were doing behind, there's no reason for anybody to attack anyone. But like I said, they get their feelings hurt. And they get their feelings hurt because of what people are doing and what people are saying. But certain things, there's a content creator, I'm not going to name their name, but this person doesn't do nothing but just talk about regular shit on the internet. And they're attacking this nigga like non-fucking stop. So you see what I'm saying? Like the reason why they're doing this is because of what they're doing in real life. Because this person, like, you could tell this person never sold out. He never fucked with this. He never done any of that. But like, it's just crazy. He said, I remember people hating on me. Oh yeah, I made a video saying I'm polite. I don't think he did it. And then there was like some kind of like people. They probably remember. I remember the video though. This was like a few years ago. Yeah, they were hating on me. But fuck them. That's why his ass didn't get, like, his ass only got like 7 years. 7 years is a lot of years, but compared to what he was facing, and like, so, and he's almost done with that shit. Like, and I don't know if he got time off or some shit. I don't know what it is, how the fuck that shit goes, but I'm sure like there's programs to get time off. So his ass would be home probably in like 3 years, probably. Who knows? Like, not even that long compared to where he would have been facing. Yeah, I don't think he did it. That shit was a whole set of that whole fucking thing. And the thing is, you had a lot of black people tearing him down. like black people like just switching up, tearing. That's why I said like all this black power shit is the stupidest shit ever. All that black unity, there is no black unity at the end of the day. There's no black unity. There's no, and it's not even just black unity, nigga. Like, is there white unity? You got politicians, you got people who the governor, the mayors, just like passing all these stupid ass laws. Most of it, like when they took away food stamps and they changed the guidelines for food stamps. If you look at the statistics, mostly white people are on food stamps, but they try to sell you the narrative of it's only black people. But if you look at it, while the white people are making fun of black people on food stamps, the statistics show white people on it more. And then who's in charge of changing the guidelines and taking away food stamps is the white government. So this shows you the white government, they don't even care about their so-called people. And it ain't even they people, because if you go to the average person that's in like a politician or a government, they're not going to say they're white. If they say they're white, they're just saying it as an act to put on a show for the people. Behind closed doors, no politician says they're white. They'll tell you this from this Germanic tribe or whatever, Norwegian, and this is my people. They'll say some shit like that because that's where they're from. They're from Norway, Sweden, Norwegian, Germany, France. There's some type of European. They're not white. Only a stupid, dumbass, regular person will say, I'm black, I'm white. Like, you fucking idiot. That's what I'm saying. There's no unity. Who are your people? Just because somebody looks like you doesn't mean they're your people. In terms of like skin, it gets deeper than that. Like there's people with my skin tone. There's people that are darker than me that have European facial structures. And they're the way they think is European. They got European blood flowing in them, and they're darker than me. That's why when you see some dark people, especially when you see black people in the military, these are very European. Most, not all, but most, like 98% of black people in the military have a lot of European in them, because to even be in the military to begin with, and you're black, you have, and if you look at a lot of these black people in the military, you look at their features, they look white. Like David Goggins, he was in the military. Look how he talks. Look how he acts. He has a lot of European blood in him. The way it's the way that's the shit he talks about, how he speaks. Look at Polite. They hated on him, but you see how you could tell he doesn't have. He takes pride in his African lineage because he's an African. He has a lot of that going through him. So he's further away from European. When you're a nigger and you this is what a nigger is. A nigger is a person who doesn't know themselves and they consider themselves black. That's what they're able to call you nigger and colored, because you're a nigger and you're colored. You say you're not African. You say you're Indian. You're not a Native American Indian. There's natives here, and they say they don't look like you. They don't sound like you. At most, you probably have some native in them. But who doesn't really? If you were born here, they mix and shit. So most people in America have some native in them, if you want to get technical. But you're not mainly fucking native. So this is why they call nigger and color, because they don't know who they are. When you don't know who you are, you get offended, and even they call themselves nigger. What's up, my nigga? It's because they don't know who the fuck they are. You don't claim African because you say you're not African. You claim native, so you're a mutt. You're like some type of fucking like creature that has no identity, like a mutt. So this is where you get called nigger and colored and negro, whatever the fuck they call it. You got to look at it from that perspective. Yeah, but I might have to end this live. I've been going on a little bit too long. Shit. I'll drop the live next link. I'll drop the link next live. I was going to drop the link, but yeah, I'm kind of this. I want to just chill right now. I've been going on too long. See if I can read all the comments. Isn't the same like set? Yeah, Saturn. It's funny how Rob D says it. Are you talking about Saturn and Neptune? Yes, Saturn and Pisces is like Saturn and Neptune energy because Pisces is Neptune. See, shout out to Rob D. He's smart. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. It is. It's the same thing. It's the same energy, but this energy is gonna be in Aries. Though it's gonna have an Aries kick to it. So Pisces is more like emotional feeling. It's more feminine. It's more just chill compared to Aries. Aries is gonna whoop your ass. So Aries doesn't play. Aries is very mean and is very violent. Like if you don't get with this energy, you could get your ass beat. Like war, a fight, you go to prison and a fight breaks out because of an argument. That's Aries energy, nigga. So Aries is more like it's bloody because Aries is Mars and Mars is red. It's bloody. It's violent. It can get nasty and shit on a negative perspective. On a positive, it's initiative, it's confidence, it's knowing what the fuck you need to do. So you gotta like I can tell when people's minds are changing or when they're watching social media because they use words like gaslight, zodiac sign. Yeah, anybody using the word reptilian, it's just people are retarded. Yeah, I don't watch spiritual videos no more. I don't watch. I haven't watched a spiritual video in a long time. I don't even feel like they're spiritual no more. Like a lot of it is just coping mechanisms and trauma bonding, coping. Like a lot of you got to understand. Like majority of the reasons why a lot of content, because in this day and age, like when you see content like about the economy or about spirituality, and it has like 10,000 views, you gotta remember like probably like 80% of those views are miserable people that are watching that video to cope. They're not like you can't watch it if you go on Infinite Waters channel and he has a video about how to get in alignment with your higher self and it has 15,000 views. You can't think 15,000 people are really trying to get in alignment or in alignment with the subs or will get in alignment. You can't even think 3,000 of those people are. You'll be lucky like a few hundred, if even that. And even those people, like you see what I'm saying? Like you got to understand, like most of that shit is bullshit. I seen this article, right? And it said this one bitch had 2 million Instagram followers, and she was only able to sell 36 T-shirts or some shit like that. Like, and a lot of people were like surprised, but I'm like, I'm not surprised because what is her channel based on? There's this one breatharian dude. Well, he's a liquidarian, and he has like 15,000 people on his Instagram, and he is able to make a living for himself, like comfortable living. It looked like he has money and just selling his courses and doing his thing, and he doesn't have that much of a following. I've seen people with very small followings, and they look like they're doing well, but then I also seen people with like 100,000 subscribers. Like this is one weirdo ass nigga, right? And it's this one white dude, and this dude always begs for money because he has an illness, and the illness he has is kind of the one I was going through, and fasting helped me help get rid of it. But he gets on this platform and he acts. Oh, shit, my phone's about to run out of batteries on my iPad. So this nigga, right? He has a platform, and all he talks about is like he wants people to send him money because like I gotta go to the doctor, and one appointment costs $1,900 for me to go to the doctor, and I needed your donations. And he asks his subscribers for donations, and the reason he thinks he's gonna get it because he has 30 some thousand followers. But the funny thing is, like, he doesn't even make. All he does is make meme video. Like every time he makes a live stream or a video, it gets no views, but he'll make a meme video and it will go viral. And in his mind, he thinks that he has some type of product, and he's like, "Why am I not getting no views? Like I just had views." It's like, bitch, because you don't have no gut, you don't have no content, dumbass. Like you don't have nothing you're selling people. All this nigga does is make videos. He'll make a video, right, and it'll be like an article about some woman leaving her man because the man, I guess, fell in love with Minnie Mouse on their kids' Disney trip, and she'll take a picture of him dating Minnie Mouse, and that'll be his video, and then have a dog in the background, and they'll get like 20, 50,000 likes, and he'll say stupid, dumb meme shit like that. Like, you know, those stupid memes that just say random dumb shit like what I just said. Like, just random stupid shit. Did you know you could take a television and wipe your ass with it? So when you watch TV, you could know which channel is shit and which channel is not. Because the shit would automatically gravitate to this network and like just dumb shit. Like he'll put stupid little TMI facts or whatever, FYI facts, and then he'll get like 20, 100,000, 50,000 views. But then he'll make a live stream asking for money. He won't even get a dime. And then he'll be like, fuck you guys. You guys ain't shit. You guys ain't fucking shit. I'm going to be homeless and I'm fucking sick. And if you're not donating me money, you guys are fucking trying to hurt. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, and like, is people, he has an ego because he thinks he has a lot of subscribers. People care about him. It's like, nobody, just because somebody likes your channel doesn't mean people care about you, you fucking degenerate. Especially on Instagram. You got to look at it like this. On Instagram, right? The whole social media algorithm. Back in the day, like when Facebook was like let's say 10 years ago, Facebook used to promote people on your friends list, people on your family, things that you liked. Not like algorithm shit, but if you liked a certain page, it would show that, or it would show what your friends post, or let's just say, like it was shown. Nowadays, the algorithm doesn't show that. It's all advertisement. So whatever they're trying to make money. So when you're watching social media, they're only going to show you what can possibly make Facebook or YouTube or Instagram money. They're going to sell you something. It's everything is an advertisement. The feed is an advertisement. So when somebody likes a page on Instagram, it's not because they like that person. Like, when was the last time you liked a page on Instagram or Facebook and you actually gave a fuck about that person? And I'm not talking about people you know personally or you may see their YouTube channel. Like, they be putting so much shit on your feed, you don't even have to like anything. It's just they will always show you, like they'll show you pages because people say, oh, I have a lot of engagement on my Instagram page. But it's not genuine because most of your engagement comes from the algorithm putting your bullshit content in the algorithm feed. So it's forced to show up on people's platform. Like when I see a lot of articles, it's not from the news, it's not from people I like, it's from pages I don't like. And I will see something and then I'll read the comments sometimes and people are engaging. Nobody gives a fuck about that content creator. So when that content creator is like, I'm going to sell platforms because people like my shit. Most of the people who liked your shit are people who were force fed on the algorithm and they just liked it just to like it. They don't give a fuck about you because you don't have nothing to offer or to sell but fucking comedy and you're not even funny. So I make people laugh because we're in depressing times and people know you don't need, sometimes people don't need to laugh. Sometimes people need to be depressed, sad, and so they can get their shit together and then laugh once they get in a better situation. Sometimes people don't need laughter. So that whole theory of I make people laugh because we're in a depressing world. It's a depressing world because there's problems. And how to fix those problems isn't by being a fucking jokester. How to fix those problems is by taking action and responsibility and fixing shit that's broke. That's how you get that shit fixed. That's how you fix the world. And then after that, we can laugh and have fun and shit. Other than that, I don't see that. So the reason you want to be a clown is because you have no other creative gift. You don't have nothing else to do but be a fucking clown. So that's because it's easy to be a fucking clown. I could go into a fucking supermarket and rub the fucking bald head guy in front of me, rub his head and film it, and then walk out of the store and start like, oh, I just rubbed his head. Like, that's content now. Just going rubbing a stranger's head, and now that's like supposed to get a lot of views. Or like just some dumbass shit. Just going outside, going to a fucking grocery store and paying the groceries of some random bitch. Like, why the fuck would I go and pay for some random bitch's groceries? Film it. Oh, I'm a good person. Like, who gives a fuck, nigga? Like, who gives a shit? Like, first of all, why would I even do that dumb shit? Like, the bitch can't even pay for her own groceries. She's that grown, and if you're that grown and you can't afford groceries, go to a food bank. Like, why the fuck? Like, and how is that even a good thing? Like it's weird. Like, we live in a weird ass. Shit's weird. And then the crazy thing is, people will feel some type of way when they watch that shit, which is even crazier. Like, they literally feel some type of like teary-eyed moment, or they feel good. Oh, this is feel good content. Like, shut the fuck up, your lame ass, depressed, miserable, coping ass, having to watch this shit to cope. So if you don't have nothing, really, like, that's why like on social media, if you don't have nothing like a talent or a skill or some type of gift, there's no point really. I'm not saying you shouldn't make videos, but don't think you're gonna, because I've seen a lot of people like tens of thousands of views or subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. They're not shit. Like, they can't even sell nothing on their platform. They're like begging for money, like, for their audience. There's one bitch on YouTube. She's a tarot reader. She's the worst tarot reader. I don't even like to talk bad about nobody, because I don't like to make fun of anybody who's homeless, because anybody can be homeless, and that's not funny. But what gets me upset is she's homeless, living at hotels. She'll be homeless for a week, then get a hotel. She'll beg her audience. She's a tarot reader. Every fucking video she'll make is like over an hour long. The whole video, she blabbers her mouth about the tarot readings and the energy. Meanwhile, this female, she's homeless. She's half Nigerian and she's half black. She's homeless, living in behind a building, in a tent. And then she'll go in a hotel or an extended stay every other day from her audience that she has 40,000 subscribers, and she's a tarot reader. And I'm like, and I'm not hating her, making fun of anyone who's homeless. But what gets me mad is they start bringing this tarot reading spiritual shit. And this bitch can't even handle her own responsibilities, and yet she wants to talk about the energies in other people's lives. And I'm not hating her, because at the end of the day, she's only doing it to make money. Because when you see the amount of time she uploads, like every time I'll check, I'm not subscribed to this bitch, but I'll check and see this bitch upload a video, and this bitch will upload a video like literally every hour, and the videos are over an hour long. There's so many videos. This bitch she'll upload a video, and she will timestamp the video in the beginning, and he'll be like 3 days ago. Like, she'll make like a dozen videos at a time, and then she'll upload them consistently. And every video is her just reading tarot. And she'll get like about 1,000 views on average per video. Like, but you can tell she's doing this so she can get she can scrape up as much change as possible, so she can pay her phone bill to keep doing that and get a hotel. And I'm not hating, because if that's how you make your money, that's fine. But what gets me hella annoyed is how she's doing all this tarot and trying to act like she's some tarot spiritual, like she got divine wisdom. But why can't you use your tarot to get yourself in a better position? Like, that's the shit that I'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, and I'm not making fun of her for being in her situation. Anybody can be in that situation, but it's just, you're a tarot reader. Like, if you were just talking about random dumb shit, okay, I don't have nothing to say.
But how you a tarot reader, but yet you can't use that? Why don't you get a tarot reading about why you got your kids taken out of your life? Why you can't get some type of stability and have your kids in your life? Like, why didn't she do tarot reading on that? And then use that tarot reading to take action. And then somebody left a comment saying, why are you homeless on the street? You should get somewhere better to stay or something. Like, you're better than this. And then all she had to say is, don't watch. And it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, and I don't care if somebody's homeless or not, but when you start talking tarot and reading tarot and talking about the energies and you have a following, like who the fuck is even watching her videos? Like, how do you take? I can't take a tarot card reader seriously if she's fucking like living behind a building and she's on video behind a building and she'll say she's homeless. She'll say, "Oh, I need money for water," and I'm like I said, I'm not making fun of people like that, but it's like even when I was homeless, like I never had an issue with food. Even when I was homeless, I've never had an issue with food. Even if I had to go and shop with the shit, I actually gave a lot of food. I gave more food out when I was homeless than when I wasn't, because when I was homeless, I seen a lot of homeless people because I was homeless. And I would always have so much food. I would give food to the homeless all the time. Like all the time. They always just be like, "Oh, you got something to eat?" I always used to hook them up. I gave more food when I was homeless than I wasn't, because I used to steal so much food and I couldn't eat all of it. And I used to just give it away to the homeless, like all of it. I remember I was on the phone with my brother and I was talking to him and I was like, "Hold on a minute." And he's like, what happened? I was like, "I just gave this lady something to eat." And he's like, "Did you give her beef jerky?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "How did you know?" He's like, "Because you always be giving out food to people." Like he made a joke about that shit. Cause like, and I didn't remember because I used to always do that shit. Like, cause I used to like not just food, but just shit in general. Cause like when I used to steal hella shit, I used to have so much shit, and I used to just give it away to people and shit. So he knew like I was giving out some type of food or something. Like, cause I used to even give him like a lot of shit. He used to like send me to the store, like, "Get this for me, get this for me." Because people used to like want me to go to the store and steal shit from them because like they couldn't do it. So they're like, "Oh, you know how to do it and not get caught." So motherfuckers used to always ask me to get them shit, and I like they'll pay me some money. Or this dude, he gave me weed. Like he was a weed man when I used to live in my house back in Manteca, back in California. I remember like there was this one dude. He used to sell dope. He had like a Mercedes and everything. I used to like I didn't take dope from him, but like he used to sell weed as well. And I used to go to he used to give me like fucking quarters, ounces of some some good shit. I used to go to the store and just like load up a whole bag. I used to get that nigga groceries. He didn't even buy groceries, like stuff. I just go whatever you want, just write it down. I used to get the shit for him. I just had a whole bunch of weed, like free weed. I was getting and shit. And he used to just like this was like 10 years ago. This is like 10 years. That's like when I was getting drunk, drinking. I was going drinking alcohol every day. I was hella spazzing out. That's when I was really in my dark days. That's around the time I went to jail because I was spazzing out. I think that was karma because I had scammed somebody. Like it was like 2 weeks before I went to jail, and I had scammed somebody hella money, and I had got a PS4 because the PS4 just released, and I wanted one, and I had scammed somebody, and I got the PS4, and I hella wanted one, and it had just released, and then like 2 weeks after that, I was drinking with somebody, with a so-called friend, and I fucking blacked out. We were at a car show, and I guess next thing I know, I woke up in a pen in a jail cell, in a holding cell, and they said like I was under arrest for felony vandalism because it was a car show, and they said I was spazzing out and I was breaking all the car windows, and a bunch of people they were trying to jump me. They said they were jumping me a little bit, but I was swinging. And then this white lady came because it was in front of the Target parking lot, the car show. She came out of Target and she was walking, right, and then she tried to break it up, and they said I hit her because I was swinging, and like a whole bunch of people were trying to jump me, and I was swinging on everyone, And then I guess I hit the lady in the face, and they tried to get her for assault on me. And then the lady's like, no, he thought that I was one of them. That's why he hit me. It was a mistake because I was swinging on everyone. But she broke it up because they were trying to jump me because I don't remember any of this shit. I was hella spazzing the fuck out. I don't remember any of this. I was going crazy. I don't remember what happened. Like even the dude I was with, I was like, what happened? He's like, don't ever talk to me again, nigga. Fuck you. Nigga, you hella hot. I ain't dealing with you. Even to this day, like I've never seen him since that day. Like he got hella mad at me. Like I called him because I went to jail for like 2 months. And then I got out of jail 2 months later, calling him, and he's like, nigga, fuck you. I'm like, what the fuck happened? No, actually, no, this is what happened. It happened in May, and I went to jail, and then I got out because they said they gave me a court date, and I didn't go to that court date. Then they put a bench warrant out. And then after I got out of that jail cell, which was like, I think a week later, then I called him. But they got me for the warrant in December. And I had to spend 2 months in jail, so I got out like in February. But initially, they took me to jail, but the judge let me out because I told him I was gonna appear in court, but I didn't go to the court. And then they picked me up on a warrant in December because I forgot I was walking. I don't even remember how they picked me up. I remember when the police arrested me, I knew I had a warrant. Like, do you have any warrants? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I had, nigga. All I know is I told him, I was like, all I know is I didn't rape or I didn't kill anyone. So you should leave me the fuck alone. Because I don't know what you're not doing. I told him that. I was like, all I know is I didn't kill or I didn't rape no one. And if I didn't do that, bitch, you ain't doing your job because why are you wasting your time with me? He's like, well, I still need to know. And I'm like, whatever. And he said, oh, you have a warrant. And I ended up having to do 2 months in jail. To be honest, it really wasn't even a bad time, to be honest, when I was in there. After the first couple of weeks, it sucked, but then I ended up having to. They said if I take some courses, I could be in like it's like a where the good behavior people are, and like it's a library. Like the jail cell is literally in a library, so it's like the jail cell and there's a library, and then they have classes. You have to take some type of class. Like they had domestic violence for I guess if the niggas who went upside their head on the bitch they was with. They have to take domestic violence course. It's called a DV course. I didn't take that because I didn't beat no bitch up upside her head. So I didn't need to take that course. But I think they had me in like a drug course or some shit. Because you have to make up some type of course. Like I just told them I had a drug issue. So I can take a class. So I can get the fuck up out of it. Because the other place they put me, that shit was so loud, nigga. Like you could not go to sleep. You could not rest in there. Like, because they call it the farm, because the jail it was San Joaquin County Jail. It's a farm because it's like it's like they call it the farm. So the bed is not like you have your own cell. It's one big ass room, and there's bunks. And I fell off the bunk when I was sleeping, and I fucking sprained my fucking leg. I fell off the top bunk. Motherfuckers was laughing at me and shit. That nigga, they were hella laughing at me. Like, this nigga fell off the damn bunk. That shit hella hurt. And shit, I was sleeping and I fell off the bunk. Everyone's like, what the fuck was that? But that shit, I hated that place because it was a big ass dorm room. You know how the jail cells, they have a bunk and you have a bunk or your bunk buddy, whatever. And the farm is like, it's a big room. Then they have bunk beds and everybody's in a room, and they have 3 different rooms. And in each room, it holds like 50 inmates, and it's bunk beds. And during the day, you cannot rest. Everybody's talking, and you can't be like, hey, can you guys be quiet? You can't say that shit. Niggas gonna be like, nigga, shit, they'll probably be more loud. And that's if they didn't go upside your fucking head when you were finally going to sleep. Like, so you couldn't say shit. Like, and I was right by the door where everybody just talking and shit. And I was like, I could not fucking sleep. Like, I was sleep deprived because I couldn't sleep because they put me right by the door where everybody's talking and hanging out and shit and smoking. That's where my bunk was. Like, I'm literally, the nigga's legs is right by me. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Somebody told me, like, if you go take a class, you can go to the library. It's called the 124. They put me in there, and I have my own bunk and everything. Had my own bunk, everything. It was my own, like, but you have to take classes in there. If you didn't take classes, they get you the fuck up out of there. And it's so funny because when I was in there, I was like, I had like hella depression around that time, not because of the jail, but it's funny when I was in there, my depression was actually at bay. And literally the day after I got out, my depression like hit super bad. Like I don't know what the fuck it was. Like that's what happened to me. Like the times where I would get depression, like the times where my depression would spike, will be the times where like something good in my life just happened. Like the times where the times where I first got like the times where I have my depression will flare up. Because any of you guys who had depressions, like your depression will flare up and it will settle down. Like when I was depressed, like 99% of the times my depression will flare up and I will start having panic attacks and tripping the fuck out. Will be the times where I just got out of jail or I just got some good news or something happened that was good. It's like I wasn't even able to enjoy the good thing that just happened. But like it always be hitting me, and I know it's the spirit because I used to get mad at like life is so fucking unfair. Every time something good happens, like it tries to steal my. And like I realized it was because of the way what I was doing. Like it was done like that deliberate. Like the spirit was doing that to me on purpose to not make me feel comfortable. Because when I was comfortable, I wouldn't do any work. So once I realized that, I started doing more inner work. So that actually it disappeared. So now good things were able to happen. But when the good things happened, it was because I worked for it. You see what I'm saying? It's like things happen for a reason. If you don't look at it like that, you be thinking the world's out to get me. Why is this happening to me? Every time I do this, this happens. I'm being gangster. I was like, that shit is a message. The spirit's talking to you. The spirit is talking to you. I used to think Soul Illuminati was legit. At one point, he was on. Yeah, I don't even watch that nigga no more. Does he even still make videos? I haven't checked out his channel in a while. He's a fake channel. He's an AI. Yeah, fuck that nigga. Soul Faggot Lonnie. Soul Faggot Audi. Whatever his fucking name is. Soul Lunatic. That should be his fucking name. Soul Lunatic. What the fuck is that? Oh hell no, that's too cheap. Yeah. Yeah, fuck Soul Illuminati. That nigga ain't shit. Yeah, but that was some crazy shit though. But I was glad I got out of that fucking place. I was glad I got out of there. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live stream, guys. Cause I think that's all I have to say for right now. Damn, 2.5 hours. Holy shit. I'll probably be on. I don't know. I'll be on when I be on, but shit, nigga. Next time I'm on, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to join. The reason I don't be on that much, cause when I go live, I like to go live for a while. I don't like to just go live for like 10 minutes. Yeah, and I one thing I've been doing a lot lately, I've been cutting down my time I'm on like the internet. Like that's one thing you guys should try doing. Cause I know a lot of you guys like ain't nobody want to be on the internet. Like when they tell you people, I'm addicted to social media, or nobody wants to be on this shit. It's just a lot of people, they don't have nothing going on in their life. So they feel there's nothing else to do. So they scroll. Like nobody gives a like 90% of people don't give a fuck about social media. And the people who do, most likely they're probably getting paid from it. But there's nobody who genuinely gives a fuck about social media. Most people are just on here just to cope. If they're not on here to make money, they're on here just to like cope with their mental illness. Always keep that shit in mind. Cause I just seen a comment. He said he was on YouTube and TikTok and he thought most of these people are dumb. Yeah, they are dumb. That like no one's really unique no more. No one's unique. It's sad because everyone tries to promote, oh, I'm different, or I'm somehow the black sheep, or I'm a chosen one, and I'm the spiritualist in my life. You ain't shit. You're just another regular person. You're nobody. You're not speaking nothing different. You're not doing anything different. You're not making no impact. You're not trying to help anyone. You never helped anyone mentally, spiritually, physically. You never did any of that. So you're nobody. You're just somebody who watched YouTube videos and got an idea. You got an idea from a content creator that you're somebody. And you're rolling with those. You're rolling with that. That's all you got. You just got a fucking idea. That's all Gen Z has. They have a fucking idea. They have a fucking opinion. I seen this video on TikTok about the Bilderberg. So I know everything the government's done. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You wouldn't even know that word Bilderberg meant if they didn't fucking put that name in the fucking algorithm. Everyone's like, oh, BlackRock. BlackRock owns all the corporations. BlackRock owns. Nigga, shut the fuck up. BlackRock ain't own shit. Whoever owns the shit is the motherfucker who's controlling the shit, bitch. It's stupid motherfucker. If they wanted to, they could just say, we're going to shut down BlackRock. But yet your still ass is still going to go to work tomorrow. Who the fuck the money going to? Is it still going to BlackRock, or is it still going to like the same people that control BlackRock that said we're going to shut it down? Get the fuck out of here. Like, people are so stupid. They just say the dumb. It's so annoying. I don't even have a TikTok. I don't ever go on TikTok. I only go on Instagram. And I was on Facebook, but they banned my Facebook account. So I was too lazy to make another one. I'm like, I'm not making another one. I'll make one later. So right now it's only Instagram and YouTube I go on. I don't do that Twitter shit. I never did it. I never liked it. And I don't do TikTok. I never had a TikTok. I don't, it just seems too fucking fake. And like every time I go on it, it's too fake. Like, with YouTube has YouTube is more real, because even though there's bullshit on it, there's still real content. Like me, I'm on it, and people like you see certain channels like they're just more genuine. TikTok is all bullshit. TikTok is bullshit. Twitter is bullshit. Instagram, I could do Instagram. Instagram's all right. I think the reason I do Instagram, because Instagram's back in the day. That's when I used to do that was the site I did my scamming on. Instagram was like, nowadays they switched. These I can tell social media switched up. Instagram used to be like where like all the niggas who used to scam, like everybody, like they had the green dot card. If you guys can remember the green dot card, like that was like the Cash App. That was like the first Cash App. Like now they have Cash App where you have Cash App, and then if you want to put money on your Cash App, you just do it through the app, or you have somebody Cash App you. Back in 2012, 2013, they had green dot card. You had to go to like Walgreens, Walmart, the grocery store, get you the gift card. put money on it, and then they have the green dot scam where what you would do is you'll go on Instagram and take pictures of money and then say, oh, I got some money. I just made this guy $500. I work at Green Dot Corporation. And what I can do for you is if you send me $500 through Western Union, they're going to give you an MTCN number. When you get that MTCN number, you give me that number. I put it in the system. And then if you send me 50, I can make it 500. People will believe that shit. They'll go to Western Union, get the number. But when they give you the number, that's the number you use to pick up the money at Western Union. So you'll tell somebody, I could put 500. I can make your Western Union pay out 500, and then they'll put 50 on the thing, thinking they're gonna get 500. They give you the number, thinking you're gonna manipulate the number, but you really just added a zero. And then I used to do that I was working with like a couple people. This is one person I was working with. I met on Instagram. We'll get numbers together, and then we'll get like probably at least like 8 people a day at one point. And then the minimum we did was 20. The most we did was 500. So we'll get anywhere from 20 to 5, 50 here, 30 here, 100 here, 30 here. And then like that shit will add up. So we'll in about a week, we'll have some money. And then we did that, and eventually they switched it up where you can't really they changed Instagram so much throughout the years. They changed it so much. They made it where they were cracking down on it, or you wouldn't be able to do the scam. Like nowadays, like the only way to really scam really is through that's why a lot of the credit card fraud is up, because that's like the main way to really do it now. That's what everyone's doing, is that credit card shit. Which that shit is risky. I would not do that because if you do that, they can easily look on the cameras. Because because I knew people who did that, and they will have to get homeless people. They will have to pay homeless people to go in the store and cash out the card, because if they get them on camera. So it's like there's a lot of shit that you gotta do, because it's really risky doing that. And then they have to check fraud. And it's back in like 2015 is when that started getting big. You had somebody with a bank. This one, it worked a lot better, because this one, all you needed was a bank account. The individual can have $0 in their bank. And if they had mobile deposit, all you have to do was make a fake check. I had check paper, and I had an app. It was called Checkbook. And you will make a check and put it in their name, and it will print out on paper so it looks real. And then I'll go to Office Depot and get check paper, so like it looks real. So when you take a picture on mobile deposit, the bank will give you, like, let's just say it's a $5,000 monthly deposit. I will put like a $3,700 check in there. The bank will allow that money. You have to time it right. You have to deposit the check before the bank closes. And so by the time the check passes through, there's nobody that's working that can look at the check to see if it's real. They'll have to wait till tomorrow morning when the bank opens at 9:00. So if you time it right, like 10 minutes before they close, once the check clears, the money is free for you to use until the next morning. So, and then during that time, the person who you deposit the check on, they're supposed to give you like half the money, or sometimes they will give me half the money. Sometimes they'll give me 80% of the money. Sometimes they want to give me shit, and they'll just not even respond. But they didn't know that you gotta pay that money back. So sometimes the people, they knew the money that they were gonna need to pay the money back. They just didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to get the money still. Yeah, it's crazy though. That was like that was from like 2015. That's when I started doing that shit. And then I stopped doing that shit because I just didn't do that shit no more. Plus, too many people kept running off with the damn money. And I was saying, "Oh, send me half." They wouldn't even send me. I'm like, man, fuck this stupid shit. This one stupid ass nigga. This is why I say most people. This is why when I tell you most people don't have money problems. This one dumbass nigga come at me. Oh man, I have money issues. Can you help me? I go and help this nigga. Right? I gave this nigga like $4,000. He was supposed to send me money. I didn't hear nothing from him. A week goes by, and mind you, I have his bank account information, so I can see his transaction. This stupid nigga goes to Foot Locker, Macy's, fucking all these fucking places, Best Buy. He fucking blows to $4,000. I hit him up like, hey man, you gonna send me the money? He doesn't respond. This nigga blows to $4,000 in like a few days. Like the fifth day, I get a call, a text message. Hey, bro, they locked my account out. If you can help me do it again, I will send you the money this time. I just need y'all making. I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up. I don't even fuck you. I just blocked that nigga. Like, you have the audacity to call me again. Like, you stupid nigga. You just blew through $4,000 in 3 days on bullshit. Now you don't got money. Now because I seen the account and it showed me everywhere he purchased. That account had $4,000 in it. This nigga went to like Best Buy, Foot Locker, fucking Macy's, all of these fucking expensive. The whole $4,000 gone like in a few days. And he made purchases. It wasn't like he saved some or he got cash back. These were purchases. Fucking like, and I was like, niggas, they don't like. This is why I say you can't just give. Not everybody. You can't just. What this taught me is you can't just give people money. Money isn't most people's problems. When you see somebody who says they have money problems, they don't have money problems. They have another problem, and that problem that they failed to resolve is why they have money problems. So money problem is a symptom of a bigger problem. A person with money problem is somebody living in fucking Chad, Africa, Ethiopia, Sub-Saharan Africa, the desert or something. That's somebody with money problems, if you want to say. Most people in America, they don't got no money. They have a bigger issue, and a symptom of that is because of money. So they may be mentally retarded, and because they're mentally retarded, they have money issues. So they need to get rid of they need to fix their mental illness. Once they fix that, then they won't have no money issues. Like, that's what I realized when I was doing that shit. Like, most people, they don't have money issues. Like, they just are just retarded. That's one thing I realized about this fucking world. Most people are just fucking retarded. And I realized you can't trust anyone really. Every time I will work with people, something will always go wrong. Like every time all the times where I got the biggest, I make the most money is when I was working by myself. Every time when I was working with somebody, that's why, like, every time in my life when I did something illegal or something I had no business doing, I never liked to do it with people. Like, if I was gonna go in a store and steal something, ever since I was young, I would never like to do it with people because every time I do it with somebody, it's always a problem. We end up getting caught or it's an issue. But when I do it myself, it's smooth. And that's why especially when it's something that I have no business doing, I never work with anyone. I always do it by myself. Like, I don't like to do, because you're dealing with other people's energy. Like I said, even when like you do things for people, you got to be careful because somebody can, like, let's just say if I'm like, I see a homeless person, I want to help him out. If you help certain people out, that can be a curse because maybe they're being punished. Their spirit is putting them through some type of scarcity and punishment so they can learn a lesson. But if you go and you help them, you're intruding upon that lesson and they're not learning. So whatever you have can be taken away from you. Or if you gotta go, let's say you gotta go steal something for him, you may get caught stealing it. And you maybe say, oh, they caught me stealing. But no, it was the energies trying to stop you from giving him something he had no business getting. That's why you have to be careful who you help. Because it's like, or when you're doing dealings with people, you have a business, legit or illegal. You have to always be careful who you dealing with. You can have a good business that's legal. Somebody, you bring the wrong person in, now your business is failing because they have an energy of lack and they just brought it upon you. That's why when you become successful and you get up, you can't just bring everybody with you. You can't just associate with just everyone. You have to cut some people off who aren't doing it. Especially if you ever become successful through discipline and sacrifice, you have to cut off everybody in your life. I don't want to say cut them off. Like if you have family, people still keep them in your life. But when it comes to your business and your dealings with how you gain stability, you have to cut off people that don't have that same discipline with you. Because if you bring them with you, it can fuck with what you've earned and what you obtain. Because you're bringing an old dead energy that you killed. You're bringing that into your new energy. Even though you're not that, you're bringing your old self, and it's that old energy is going to be still there. So the same problems you had about before you were in that state, the same problems you had, you're going to still have those problems because you have that person around you. Because they may not supposed to be getting the fruits of your labor, but they're enjoying the fruits of your labor, and they didn't do the work. You did the work. So when you go through a lot of sacrifice and discipline to obtain something physically or spiritually or mentally, you have to cut off people who have not attained that unless you're trying to help them or they're trying to help themselves and you see it within them. Then you can help them help themselves. Like if it's somebody who's trying to get better, help them help themselves, but don't just go and let them be around you and enjoy your fruit and they're just being lazy. Don't do that. You gotta understand what's going on. The fuck said that? My daughter's downstairs, I'm upstairs getting high. The fuck? That's hella weird. I don't know, why would you just say that? That's some random ass shit. Isn't that why the rich stay greedy? No, the rich didn't do anything to get money. When you talk about when we talk about rich, I'm not talking about the average rich person who's a millionaire. I'm talking when I'm talking about rich, I'm talking about like the 1% who control like 1% of the wealth. That type of rich, that's a whole different thing. They got that wealth through inheritance, through their colonial not ants, but their people that came before them, like their father, their grandfather, all that old money that they inherited. That's where they got that from. They didn't work for that. And the reason they got that money was because they killed Indians, they destroyed people, they stole people, and they were just a menace to fucking civilizations and just a leech. So that's why. So you can't when we talk about the rich, which is the 1%, what I say doesn't apply to them. Nothing I say in my videos apply to the government at all. When it comes to health, when it comes to money, it has nothing to do because they're on a whole different ball game. Like what they did and how they did to get there, that's a whole nother. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That's some other shit. That's some like deeper shit. When we talk about money and how to get money, that has nothing to do. Money is not the physical. Money is not physical. Money is a spiritual essence, and it translates to stability. So if America and this bullshit society didn't exist, stability will always exist. There'll still be you'll still need a house. You'll still need resources. So that's what I talk about money. So even if the government didn't exist, there will still be that energy of stability, which will translate to money, whatever we're doing. And that money will be our mind. Even nowadays, when you talk about the average person getting money, it's usually a mental thing. Somebody who works at McDonald's, Their mind is only able to manifest McDonald's. That's why they work at McDonald's and they're not a brain surgeon. Somebody who has a mental illness where they need to be on disability, their mental illness won't allow them to get a job at McDonald's, so they need disability check. So the mind is money. The mental is the first money. That's just a proof, but that's everything else comes after the fact. And then the mind creates stability, really. You have a stable mind and you're gonna have more likely have a stable situation. And a stable situation doesn't have to just be a house and a money in a car. You can not have a house and a money in a car and still have a stable situation. A breatharian, they don't have food, but they're more stable than somebody with food. You see what I'm saying? Because their mind. It's not about what you have or what you don't have. It's about the mind. If you have the mind of a breatharian, you don't need food. You don't need the same things somebody who has a lot of money has. But a breatharian is still stable. In most cases, more stable than the person with more money and more food on their plate. The person with more food on the plate, they got to go drive to fucking drive-through at night to go get something to eat. They got to talk about what's for dinner tonight. They got to go cook their meal. Breatharian, they don't have to do that, but yet the breatharian is still stable. But why is he stable? Because it's mind. So that's stability has nothing to do with money. It can have something to do with money. In most cases, it has something to do with money. Most cases, but it doesn't always have to do with that. We just speak about money because we're in a system where they make that a heavy emphasis of having money. Because America's a corporation. Everything's built off capitalism and everything is about making somebody else money. That's all. Everything matters in this society. Nothing else matters when we talk about the system other than money. When you go to your job and work, nothing else matters but if you're able to make the company money. Because once the company stops making money, that's when layoffs happen. That's when you can't be there no more. The only reason you're there is because the company's making money. Once the company stops making the amount of money it needs to make to pay you, it will lay you off. You won't be there. So anytime you're working or you're in the system, is all about money. Anything else they tell you, oh, we care about your food. They have to say that to get you because they don't want you thinking it's just about money. And they want you thinking it's about, oh, we're a team member and we're on it together and we're helping, we're working on it. Shut the fuck up, bitch. It's all about money. If this place didn't have money, you wouldn't even be able to pay my ass. You wouldn't even be able to pay your employees if this place was not generating. Why do you think they have to close down all these fucking GameStops and all these Walgreens and they have to close it down because they're not making enough money to pay the employees while still making the money they want to make. So they said, let's lay off these people. Let's lay them off. And the money that we get from laying them off, we can pocket some of that money and invest that into making our business not fail. That's all it is. Making the business not fail. Why do you think they have to merge corporations? Disney and Fox, they got to merge them together. They said Versace just bought Hermes or some dumbass shit. One of these designer places they bought out. Anytime you see companies buying each other out and merging, that's because the company is failing and they're trying to conjoin them. That's not a good thing. That means the company is losing energy. So they have to combine and merge together and like, you see what I'm saying? It shows that their company's failing. That's not really a good thing. Because why did they do that like all these years ago? Why didn't you just make a company with Fox and Disney? Why do they have to conjoin? And because this shit's trash. Ain't nobody give a fuck about Fox and Disney no more. So they have to put their energy together to try to see if they can try to save it and make a new business and make it better. Like, bitch, no one cares a fuck about anything you guys got to say on. It's nothing to do with how you're running Fox and Disney. It's nobody cares about what you have to say on that platform because Disney and Fox, they have to talk and they have certain morals and ways that they convey their message that they want to be heard on Disney and Fox. You can't watch a Disney movie and they talk about certain things. It always has to be a certain thing. So that whole concept of what Disney represents, what Fox represents, no one gives a fucking shit about it. So they're going to either have to change that platform, which they're not, and they can't, because if they do, it won't be Fox and Disney, and it would defeat the purpose of why they created Fox and Disney.
They created it to mind control and to push narratives. If they make it something other than that, then it would defeat the purpose of what they created for. And even this, people still won't like it. It'll be like, why the fuck are you talking about this shit now? Like, are you trying to copy us now? Like, see what I'm saying? Like, so like they should just like scrap that shit up. But they're not, because even though we hate these companies and these companies ain't shit, there's somebody that worked hard for that shit. And anything you have that you work hard for, you're not gonna just want to give it up. You work hard just to get your little bullshit ass check and pay your bill. So what do you think a person with $100 million plus check every year, every month, you think they're gonna just give that up? They're gonna fucking fight for that shit. They're not gonna want to just give that shit up. That's why I say everything's about money. Like it's retarded, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. Damn, this was a good live stream, man. I kind of don't want to go, but I got to do some shit. I think I've been on here too long. Next time I'll drop the link like next time. I didn't want to drop it because it was too late but yeah. I'm gonna end this live stream, guys, but I'm gonna hit you guys up later. I'm out. Peace.